Thursday, September 25th.
Your bank records. What did the RBC say about your bank records?
Prime Minister Mark Carney had his financial data accessed with an RBC employee now facing charges.
We're doing it all in a month without any public consultation. What's the rush?
Saskatoon's Marquis Downs racetrack will soon become a gravel parking lot, while the facility will be destroyed after 56 years. And meet Saskatchewan's newest millionaire and their reaction to the win. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. To Your Morning Saskatchewan, I'm Daryl Rummel.
And I'm Kayleen Sawatsky. Good morning. Happy Thursday.
Seems a little brisk out there.
Yeah, well, cooler than yesterday. Yeah, for sure. Temperatures are dropping off today for sure, but still higher than the average. Not all bad news.
We'll get that forecast in just a minute, Kayleen. Thank you. Let's get to your news for this part of the hour. As we said off the top, Prime Minister Mark Carney is heading to the UK later today, talking trade. Over the next 3 days, Carney will meet with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and the Prime Ministers of Iceland, Australia, Spain, and Denmark. Carney is also expected to sit down with business leaders and investors as part of a push to advance trade with international partners. And an RBC employee is now facing charges for allegedly accessing Carney's personal data.
Prime Minister's financial information. And what I gather from this is that this is clearly information that could be potentially leveraged by what we call a threat actor.
The RCMP charged Ibrahim El Hakim with fraud over $5,000, unauthorized use of a computer, identity theft, and trafficking and identity information. They were working off a tip from RBC. The RCMP says there is no threat to the Prime Minister's safety or national security. The suspect is no longer working at RBC and is due back in court next month. Saskatoon's Marquis Downs racetrack will soon become a gravel parking lot. Jeremy Dodge has been following this. That's a lot of history, Jeremy.
Yeah, Daryl, and it will soon be leveled after city councillors approved plans from Prairieland to remove the track and demolish the grandstand and horse barns at its monthly meeting yesterday. The city says the buildings are past their serviceable life. The area will be developed as a gravel parking lot until Prairieland comes back with a plan for the area sometime next year. The decision puts an end to 5 years of uncertainty at the site after COVID canceled the 2020 racing season. A group looking to bring a professional soccer team planned to use the stands and turn the area into a stadium before inflation and construction costs soared. Members of the horse racing community called the decision a dagger through the heart, while others wondered why demolition is necessary.
We're doing it all in a month without any public consultation. What's the rush? Like, where's everybody going? Why do we need a parking lot so urgently?
The city says no part of Prairieland's lease agreement with the city requires public consultation. A Saskatchewan man convicted of killing 2 people and injuring his own daughter in a drunk driving crash is back behind bars. In 2020, Tyler Seeley veered into oncoming traffic on Highway 41 and crashed into a truck, killing Marjorie and Gord Clausen and injuring his 4-year-old daughter riding in the back seat. Last year, January 2024, Seeley was granted statutory release, but now the Parole Board of Canada has revoked his release after Seeley breached his conditions by using meth and cocaine. The Parole Board says Seeley has not made changes to his life and poses a risk to the public, so he's now back in prison. Daryl, the Saskatchewan Serious Incident Response Team looking into the circumstances of a suspect being hit by a police vehicle.
Yeah, Jeremy, police were called to a Broadway Street business last Wednesday over an alleged theft and rock throwing. Police finding 2 suspects a short time later. The 2 fled and officers chased one of them, a 22-year-old man, into a grassy area with an officer in a vehicle, one on foot. In the ensuing chase, the man was hit by the vehicle and fell. He was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, but RCMP have called in Sept to investigate. The other man was arrested a short time later. Both men now face a slew of charges and have court dates set. University of Regina Students' Union members have successfully staved off a vote to dissolve the union for now. More than 450 students attending the virtual special meeting Wednesday in hopes of halting a vote which would have dissolved the student union. It comes after the university evicted URSU from campus last month, and as the union remains under investigation for allegations of misappropriation of funds after several demands from students for a physical voting ballot and to adjourn the meeting, the board obliged. A new meeting date has not yet been set. Regina City Council opting into Saskatchewan's Safe Public Spaces Act, the Street Weapons Act. It comes after the Board of Police Commissioners recommended Tuesday the city adopt the new regulations. The provincial legislation gives police more authority to use their own discretion when removing dangerous weapons off city streets. Council passing the motion 7-4 with councillors Fro and Turnbull abstaining from the vote. Meantime, it was recorded as a no for the record.
I'm not comfortable that I have information to make a decision of this magnitude. So if I were to abstain out of principle, given that I don't feel I have the information to accurately make a vote, full faith in the RPS, but we quite literally were given 3.5 days.
I'm in support in the context of I respect the advice and the actions that have been demonstrated from our police service in this matter.
The city will now work on the next steps of drafting a bylaw which is in line with the act. Final wording will be approved by council at a later date. One person has died after a shooting at an ice facility in Dallas, Texas. Police say the shooter opened fire from a nearby roof onto the Immigration and Customs Enforcement location. One detainee has died, 2 others critically injured. Authorities have identified the shooter who turned the gun on himself as a 29-year-old man. We won't say his name, seen in the picture there, from a 2016 marijuana conviction. The exact motivation is still under investigation, but FBI say the ammunition found at the scene contained anti-ice messaging. Tropical storm Umberto has formed in the Atlantic. The storm is expected to affect the eastern U.S. within the next 5 days. It's one of 2 major storms through the Atlantic right now. Hurricane Gabrielle is racing toward the Azores Islands. Hurricane warning is in effect in the area, which could see dangerous conditions as early as today. Quebec's French language minister says a move to ban use of gender-neutral language in all official communications is not about exclusion.
We have some people are gender fluid. They are who they are who they want to be, and this won't change.
The policy also doesn't allow using both masculine and feminine endings in words. The order covers all provincial ministries, municipalities, as well as education networks and healthcare system as well. City of Ottawa workers are not happy about being ordered back to the office 5 days a week.
The City of Ottawa is very clear. They were very happy with the work that our members do. There was no evidence and no inkling that there was a need to switch gears.
Inside council chambers, a motion to rescind the mandate never made it to a vote, but councillors did water down the order, allowing managers to accommodate and even maintain hybrid work arrangements where possible. According to the City of Ottawa, 93% of its workers are already in the workplace every day. The back-to-office mandate takes effect January 1st. For the first time in 30 years, RCMP officers are getting an update to their uniform shirts. The service says it's working to modernize the uniforms worn by its members and will be rolling out these new navy blue shirts on a province-by-province basis starting in PEI next month. The RCMP say the process will take 18 months or so, and some officers will be still wearing the original gray shirts for a little while. Drivers in Prince Albert may notice some updates to the intersection of 1st Avenue West and 22nd Street. The upgrades to the intersection were funded through the Provincial Traffic Safety Fund and administered by SGI. The $68,000 grant awarded to the city by the Photo Enforcement Program. The project includes new medians, new pedestrian ramps, stop signs, and crosswalks.
When the city decided to do this intersection, they studied 9 years from 2013 to 2022, and there were 63 collisions. That resulted in 22 injuries. There was $800,000 worth of claims.
The Prince Albert Police Service adds it supports the upgrades to the intersection and any effort which helps make things safer. Coming off their bye week of the regular season, last one, the Saskatchewan Roughriders may be getting some injured players back, some walking wounded. Offensive lineman Philippe Gagnon tore his bicep during before the season even started, actually. And he was taking practice reps this week. In the receiving corps, Sam Emelis, Kean Schaefer-Baker, both dealing with long-term injuries, have full practice designations. And Marcus Sales, who didn't suit up for the Riders in their loss to Montreal, looks on track to play.
It hurt me. I'm one of those guys. I love being on the field. I love playing with these guys, and hopefully, when I'm on the field, I can help as much as possible. But we got guys that can make plays as well. Unfortunately, they got the better hand that week. But as long as we continue to put our head forward and continue practicing well, we'll have another opportunity to make those plays.
Kickoff is 5 p.m. against Edmonton this week. Saturday is the kickoff. We get to our weather forecast, and we welcome in Kayleen Sawatsky for a first glance at what we have in store for us today. Kayleen, good morning.
Good morning. Well, we are seeing those temperatures drop off from what we saw yesterday. Many places reaching into those 30-degree temperatures. Today, we're not going to be seeing those 30-degree highs, but still seeing those temperatures above the seasonal average today. Regina right now sitting at 7 degrees to start the day. Those winds are going to be slightly more calm than what we saw yesterday. Could be seeing them up to about 30 kilometers per hour in Regina, 35 in Saskatoon today. In Saskatoon starting the day at 1 degree. The sun not really fully up in the sky, expecting that sun to be up by about 6:50 today. Now the futurecast showing not a whole lot on our screen today. We did see that rain yesterday. It pushed its way out, and we have more on the way starting in those overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. Saskatoon has a chance of getting that rain about 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, but today the futurecast looking really clear, just seeing a whole lot of sunshine yet again today. Current temperatures once again looking cooler than what we saw yesterday. Some places into those negative temperatures, not so much in the north, but as we look just a little more down south towards those central zones there, Battlefords, the cold spot in the province today, sitting at -2 for the start of the day. Moose Jaw at 4 degrees, Assiniboia at 5 degrees, and Estevan warmer this morning, sitting at 7 degrees. Now here's a look at those wind gusts today. We did just mention that Regina could see them up to 30 kilometers per hour, Saskatoon up to about 35, but where we're going to be seeing the peak of those winds today is actually right around the western border. So Kindersley could be seeing them just past 40 kilometers per hour. Swift Current could also be seeing those winds as well. Here's a look at today's forecast. Again, seeing those temperatures lower than what we saw yesterday, but it is still going to be a very pleasant day out there. Swift Current likely reaching around 24 degrees, Weyburn up to 22, and Yorkton up to about 19 degrees today. Now your 5-day forecast, again looking very nice. 22 degrees today, 21 tomorrow, 25 on Saturday, and 24 on Sunday. So although last weekend was technically the last weekend of summer, this weekend is still feeling very summer-like. 25 degrees as we get into early next week for Regina. In Saskatoon, the 5-day forecast showing that we will be dropping down to about 19 degrees tomorrow, with that sunshine continuing on in the afternoon. However, again, we could be seeing that morning rain and then pushing off by the afternoon to leave that sunshine. 21 degrees on Saturday, no rain expected for the weekend. Monday up to 25 degrees with some cloud cover. We're not expecting some more precipitation until about Tuesday and Wednesday.
On Wednesday, a group of Saskatchewan community leaders was airlifted to a secret location to take on medical and aviation challenges. As CTV's Stacey Hine tells us, it's part of a fundraiser for Stars Air Ambulance.
4, 5, 6. From practicing CPR to working on SOS signals, it's not a typical day for these Saskatchewan community leaders. The 5 participants are flown from the Stars base in Saskatoon to a secret location on the outskirts of town.
It was scary. It was exciting. Felt very meaningful that I was going to spend the day raising money for something that would make a big difference to people in our province.
The crew then participated participates in a series of challenges.
The ground is right through the middle of the page.
Here, they're dispatching calls, learning to work through distractions and prioritize resources. Later, a three-legged race, responding to emergency scenarios. It's a first-hand look at STAR's critical care operations.
We have leaders from the community come out and really spend a day in the life of the air medical crew, doing challenges to really understand kind of what our work is like in the field.
The crew is also raising money for the organization. Each person has to raise $50,000 to earn their flight home.
Fundraising is crucial to keeping STARS in the air, making up half of its annual operating budget.
One person saying the community is willing to support the cause.
STARS has impacted so many lives in Saskatchewan, in rural Saskatchewan, and it's really not a tough sell because everybody has seen the benefits of it.
STARS says its goal is to raise $400,000. And it appears everyone has earned their flight home. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
In case you missed it, an Edmonton family is once again going the extra mile for Halloween. Dave Owanek is busy building his latest Halloween creation, a haunted castle on his front lawn made entirely of wooden pallets.
Okay.
2 years ago, the family created a detailed pirate ship, attracting hundreds of people to come by and check it out. This year, they wanted to go bigger and better, and they are on their way to that. The castle walls are 8 feet high, and the structure itself is around 23 feet long. This just begs the question, how much do you spend on Halloween every year?
Yeah, that's a good, well, I mean, they probably have some pallets for free. Oh, there's Mira Conway for no apparent reason. But the pallets must have been free.
Is she haunting the thing?
I hope not.
I hope not.
That's paint. It's time and effort.
Yes, it's a lot of work.
If you guys out there have a Halloween house, you're into that sort of thing, you want to send us some pictures of what you guys got going on, please, by all means, do so. In the meantime, let's get to our question du jour.
Yeah, so today is National One Hit Wonder Day, so we're asking you, what is your favorite one-hit wonder? Jeremy, do you have one?
Yeah, I'm sure you're expecting me to have a list of 10, and yes. I do, but I will only give you one. One of my favorite songs of the last 20 years is Somebody That I Used to Know by Gautier.
That was my answer.
Came out in 2011.
Okay.
Oh, my God, I love that song so much, and he chose to only have the one hit. He didn't like the fame, so he went back to...
But have you heard,
away from that, but
there's a new song that sampled Somebody That I Used to Know. It's called Anxiety.
Yep.
And the beginning of the songs, they're the same. And it's a disappointment when you hear that it's Anxiety, not Somebody That I Used to Know.
All over the TikTok. There's only one right answer to this, and it's You Only Get What You Give by the New Radicals, who have the same story
also
to
great.
Gautier. He got that one massive hit, and he's like, don't like this, I'm out.
Yeah,
so,
that's enough.
And that's coming from the former DJ with the Frosted Tips in the 2000s.
Listen, Jeremy is a rock DJ. He has a list of 26 he could give you, but he only gave you one. We want to hear your one. Name and answer to 10400. Frosted Tips were natural, by the way. No artificial.
No, they weren't.
No artificial coloring.
I don't believe
Scan the QR code on your screen. We're back right after this. Come on, guys, give me a break. We'll take a look over the fine city.
The National Day for Truth and Reconciliation is Tuesday, and this morning, Mike Siona's out at Wanuskewin to see how they're getting ready to mark the occasion. Mike, good morning.
Good morning indeed, and don't let me tell you, but rather let Andrew McDonald tell you what's going on here at Wanuskewin for that National Day of Truth and Reconciliation. Going to be a full day, and it starts with some sponsorship and admission by donation.
Yeah, so thanks to Nutrien, this is once again an admission by donation day, so whatever you'd like to offer our nonprofit as entrance, that would be great. And it is a full day of activities once again. We're so happy to be able to welcome the community here to the park to be able to take part in this incredibly powerful day, this emotional day, and a day that is really built around giving voices to the residential school survivors.
No doubt about it. Now, obviously, Wanuskewin here, I mean, the valley here, all the history steeps well before that chapter of our shared and collective history here. So what kind of things will be on display culturally?
Well, we want to be showcasing all things, all different aspects of culture. So, for example, culinary arts. We'll be doing bannock bakes in the Teepee Village. There'll be dancers here, so performing arts. We'll have tours of the art gallery as well. So in regards to visual arts, we'll have that as part of the experience here. All things you can drop in on, all things you can do self-guided as well if you'd like to just explore the valley. And there's going to be so much happening that day. There's something for everyone here.
And it really feels like that day in particular is, if you've never been to Wanuskewin or if you haven't been here in a while, this is the place to be on National Day of Truth and Reconciliation.
Yeah, that's right. So our role here in the community is to really continue to be that gathering place as it has been for 6,400 years. So today, in a contemporary sense, we extend the invitation for everyone to come and join us so that we can all kind of take part in education, take part in healing, and take part in reconciliation.
No doubt about it. Wonderful stuff. Of course, you can go to wanuskewin.com for a full list of all the details, or just keep it locked in on Your Morning, because we're here all day long.
All right, Mike. Excellent. Thank you so much. Looking forward to checking in with you in a little while.
For a look at your school day forecast, brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zones safe. Now, if you're heading out the door right now, it's a bit cooler to start the day today, especially in Saskatoon, where we're only currently sitting at 1 degree. Winds are calmer to start the day, though, and the sun should be fully up in about 20 minutes time here. In Regina, a little bit warmer, 7 degrees to start the day. Still warrants a light jacket if you're heading out right now to grab the bus. By lunch, 18 degrees in Regina, 17 degrees in Saskatoon. And by the final bell, sitting at 21 degrees in both cities. That is the high for Saskatoon today. Regina could be getting just a little bit warmer. The expected high 22 degrees at 4 p.m. today. And as we go to break, here's a look at today's gas prices in Regina. The most common cost to fill up is $1.35.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $1.14.9. And in Saskatoon, the common cost to fill up $1.35.9 this morning, but you might find the lowest at $1.24.9. Taking a look at the farm markets, the street price of canola at $556.52 per ton, and the futures price at $624.10 per ton. Amber Durum wheat at $278.60 to start the day per ton, and Red Spring wheat at $232.92 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading down at 71.98 cents U.S. Coming up in about 10 minutes' time, we'll sit down with the Agriculture Minister, hear what he has to say. Stay with us.
Welcome, 631, Your Morning Saskatchewan. My name is Daryl. The NDP in this province accusing the government of stacking the Saskatchewan Health Authority Board with political operatives. The opposition says half of the 10-member board is comprised of people who have campaigned for the Saskatchewan Party. It says some board appointments go back several years. The NDP believe it would be more appropriate to appoint healthcare professionals to that board.
And I would add also that if you have someone that does have some experience in this area and that has also served as your campaign manager, they should not be put on the board, because people also need to have, there has to also be the appearance of independence, right? This is the SHA should be operating independent of government.
The government says it's been transparent about who serves on the board, pointing to healthcare metrics and its goal of improving access and outcomes for patients. Serving on the SHA board is part-time work, with the top position of chairperson earning $58,000 a year. A Saskatchewan man faces charges related to an alleged cattle theft earlier this month. RCMP say its livestock investigator and Livestock Services of Saskatchewan determined that 6 cattle were stolen from an acreage near Sedley, Saskatchewan. Then later water recovered at a nearby rural property. 65-year-old Scott Cunningham from the RM of Francis now faces 1 count of fraudulently taking and keeping stray cattle and 1 count of cattle theft over $5,000. Cunningham is set to appear in Weyburn Provincial Court in November. 400 ostriches from that BC farm we've been talking about have been given an 11th hour stay from a planned cull.
They're safe today!
The farm's co-owner and her daughter, who have been the public face of the fight against the cull, rejoiced after learning the news. The Supreme Court of Canada granted the last-minute stay, preventing the CFIA from culling the flock as the farm appeals. The ostriches were ordered to be culled after an avian flu outbreak at the farm last year. CFIA says it will follow the court's order while maintaining custody of the farm. For the second time this week, drones have disrupted activity at a Danish airport. Aalborg Airport in the country's north is used for both commercial and military flights, and it has been closed between 11 p.m. last night and around 2 a.m. this morning. Authorities in Denmark are calling it a hybrid attack sent by a professional actor. They also say the drones were launched locally but aren't blaming Russia or anyone else. As a result, Denmark's national police have raised the crisis level. The government is also considering bringing an Article 4 discussion to NATO. After several years of work, a new joint-use school is officially open in Regina. The Tawau School offers bigger spaces with many tools necessary to help a wide range of student needs. The school is named after a Cree term meaning welcome or come in. The new name is intended for inclusion.
When you feel like you belong and you know that teachers and staff care for you and that you have a human that believes in you and you can see yourself in that school, kids will do better. And so when we have a school that has a diverse population and a high Indigenous population in this area, it makes sense to wrap our arms around those services and to wrap our arms around those students and ensure that they feel welcome.
The other side of that school is St. Raphael's School, which replaced the 2 Catholic schools in the area. Saskatchewan's population hit a new all-time high in July, according to new numbers from Statistics Canada. The new estimates show Saskatchewan's population as of July 1st was more than 1.26 million. Population growing by more than 2,400 people in the second quarter. Over the past year, Saskatchewan has continued to outpace national growth. Jays fans will try to get their hands on playoff tickets today, but they do have bigger worries right now.
I was really disappointed tonight, but I have a really good feeling that they're going to come back and they're going to be stronger going into the future.
The Jays lost for the 6th time in 7 games. Should have seen the rant text in my inbox from Grandma Beth out in Estevan, Saskatchewan. They lost to my Red Sox last night, so she wasn't very happy about it. So now Jays fans who are hoping to catch a divisional series game may end up buying tickets for the wild card instead, which would start on September 30th. The ALDS starts October 4th. A Saskatchewan woman has become the province's newest millionaire. Hallie Mandrick with your introduction.
When IVR went to grab a slushie, she was treated to a big surprise.
I took it up there and he rang it through and I said, oh, just take the slush out of that. And he just jumped back and he was shaking. I was shaking and he told me it just like that. So I said, I'll be right back. I got to go home. So I went home, showed Mike the ticket and he looked at it and he looked at me and he said, are you rich? He said, where's my slush?
The Outlook resident will be taking home $5 million thanks to a Lotto 649 draw made earlier this month. Ivy purchased the ticket in Whitecap while on her way to take her dog Lady to the groomers.
Well, I'll be able to dance for the first time in my life. I mean, it's really, you know, and it just, I don't know, it's too, I'm still overwhelmed. I still can't quite believe it. But yeah, it's gonna make a big impact.
Sask Lotteries has been the main fundraiser for more than 12,000 sport, culture, and recreation groups across the province. According to the organization, Sask Lotteries has provided more than $1.4 billion in community support throughout its more than 50 years of operation. As for how Ivy plans to spend her millions, she's thinking of some home improvements and a reward for Lady.
We're going to finish up the renovations in the house and that, and she might get a new bed, maybe. She's got about 3 beds at home now.
In addition to a very large check, Saskatchewan Lotteries gifted Ivy a slushie maker, so she never needs to worry about forgetting to pick one up again. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Wow. Wonder if she's willing to share, Kayleen. I could use a couple bucks.
Even just the slushy maker, like I'll take that.
Yeah, give me a margarita maker on a Friday. Thanks, Kayleen. What's going on?
All right, well, we're seeing temperatures go down quite drastically from what we saw yesterday, but even though we are seeing those numbers ticking down, it is still above the seasonal average, so nothing to worry about really out there. A lot of temperatures still into those 20 degrees today. Regina, nice warm start to the day at 7 degrees. Those winds are rather calm. Saskatoon, cooler to start the day, so grab a jacket if you're heading out in the next few minutes, only sitting at 1 degree right now. Now, current temperatures and how they compare across the country this morning, showing that once again we're seeing the warmest temperatures over in Ontario and Quebec today. Toronto up to 18 degrees right now, and right around Toronto, that is where we are seeing the warmest temperatures in Canada right now to start the day. Now, Calgary at 7 degrees, though, Winnipeg at 13 degrees, and Thunder Bay starting the day at 9 degrees. Now, if you're wondering what's in store for Saskatchewan today, well, not a whole lot. We're not seeing anything really on the futurecast other than some of those clouds up in the north today in the afternoon. And then during those overnight hours, we do see a weather system making its way in from Alberta that is tracking eastward. Going to be bringing some rain overnight and into early tomorrow morning. And then Saskatoon could be seeing it at about 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. But you're not going to see the rain icon on your screen in just a minute or so here, because by the afternoon, it's going to be pushing off, just making way for sunny skies tomorrow afternoon. Today's wind gusts showing that the two major cities, Saskatoon and Regina, are going to be seeing those a little bit lower than what we saw yesterday. So Regina could be seeing them up to about 30 kilometers per hour, Saskatoon up to about 35, but that is reduced from what we saw yesterday. The highest wind gusts today will be in those spots lighting up in yellow around Swift Current and Kindersley. Today's forecast with those temperatures showing Swift Current will be reaching a nice high of 24 degrees today, Moose Jaw up to 22, Estevan 21, Yorkton 19 degrees, and Prince Albert up to 20 degrees. The high expected for Regina today, 22, but we are going to be reaching that a little bit later than when we typically do. We usually see that high around 2 to 3 p.m. Today it's going to be around 4 to 5 p.m. 21 degrees tomorrow, 25 on Saturday, 24 on Sunday, 25 on Monday, 24 on Tuesday, and then 23 on Wednesday with that cloud cover coming back into the picture. 21 degrees today for Saskatoon, 19 degrees tomorrow, 21 on Saturday, 22 on Sunday, 25 on Monday, and then some more precipitation coming into play as we head towards middle of next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. Your morning just got a whole lot richer. We're giving away a staggering $20,000, and it's time for today's code word. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. Today's code word is 1,000. Head to the contest page on our website or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter the code word along with your information for your chance to win CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan's $20,000 giveaway.
Kara Wagland inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday, and it comes from the end of the Red Sox-Blue Jays game. Bottom 9, Jays down 7-1 with 2 away. Alejandro Kirk hits one to right field. Willie Abreu comes up throwing, gets Kirky easily to end the game. Kirk, not known for being the fastest runner. That is a tough way to end things on a 9-3 putout. Toronto has scored 1 run or fewer in 6 of their last 7 games. Their division lead is gone. That is your must-see moment. And tonight on TSN, it is Thursday Night Football between the Seahawks and the Cardinals. Seattle has won 7 straight meetings, 5 of those by double digits. Kickoff for that game goes at 8:15 Eastern, at 7:15 Central Time. That's all for now from Sports Center. Have a great day.
Harvest is nearing completion in Saskatchewan. Agriculture Minister Daryl Harrison spending a few minutes with us in studio this morning. Daryl, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, Daryl.
The show needs more Daryls.
Exactly.
Just no Larrys. Harvest is just about to wrap up. If you're of a certain vintage, you get that joke. How did it go this year?
Well, it's certainly been a different harvest. You know, as of late, we've had some moisture which delayed progress, but you know, we need drier conditions now to get the hours on the combines on a daily basis. So we're well past the halfway mark, and looking to see that 3/4 mark here within the next week.
The biggest concern, obviously, coming in from farmers and ranchers, producers, is getting their product to other markets, diversifying the market. How are we doing in that regard?
Well, as you're probably well aware, Daryl, the Premier, along with Parliamentary Secretary Cody Boy, went over to China, had some very good meetings, and I think we've seen some of those results of those meetings with the Prime Minister actually meeting with the Premier of China.
And are we any closer to remove the big talk in this, of course, has always been remove the Chinese EV tariffs. That'll remove the canola tariffs. We'll get that relationship restored. Is it that easy?
Well, it's probably not quite that easy, but we need the federal government, you know, especially at the Prime Minister level, to be willing to talk to the Prime Minister of China, and you know, we need that discussion to go on. We need to have that dialogue. The federal government has to be willing to budge. We need that trade. They're our second largest trading partner.
Who could fill that void? Where else could we sell to?
Well, certainly our trade offices around the world. We do deal with 160 countries around the world. Filling the amount that China buys is very difficult.
That's hard.
It's a huge amount, and you won't backfill it all, but we're doing our best to find other markets that we can expand, grow, and get our products out there.
If that's concern number one coming into your office, what's concern number two?
Concern number two is, of course, getting the harvest into the bin. You know, it's important to get it stored, you know, hopefully in good condition. The damper weather has probably downgraded some crops that are still out there, but getting the harvest in the bin would be the first priority.
And obviously there's always some damage when you talk about harvest, hail and everything else. The crop insurance program, you made some expansions to that in the last couple of years, and it's going well?
Yeah, no, it's going very well. Overall, I think our hail damage across the province hasn't been very significant. It's probably one of the lower ones, you know, in the past few years, but I think what farmers are seeing is that it's turning out better than expected. So the next question is the quality. What can they get it up? What kind of quality they can get it up into the bin?
Minister, thank you so much for spending a couple of minutes with us. I know you got a busy day, so we'll let you get back to it. Minister Daryl Harrison in studio with us this morning from the Ministry of Agriculture. I almost said Education. My goodness.
September 25th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We're starting off with a belated birthday wish for Natalie. Her birthday was on Saturday, September 20th. We hope you had a wonderful day with lots of love from Mama and Papa. Happy birthday wishes also going out to Aaliyah, who is now 12 years old. We hope your birthday was super special with lots of love from your friends and family. Also marking another trip around the sun is Sally. This shout out coming from Ron, Corey, Kelly, Jordan, and Natalie, who say they hope you have a wonderful birthday filled with love. And a big happy birthday going out to Chasen, who is officially a teenager today, wishing you an incredible 13th birthday filled with all the love and joy that you deserve. Lots of love from Papa, Cookham, little brother Jackson, and cousin Haley. Next up, a double birthday shout out going out to Alex and Arlo, turning 3 years old. Happy birthday, you two, with love from your mom, dad, sisters, and brother. And from a double birthday shout out to a quadruple one, happy birthday to Wayne, Ashley, Kai, and Maddox. We hope all four of you enjoy your special day. Happy birthday. A big happy birthday also going out to Marlene, celebrating her 87th birthday. We hope it's a great one. This shout out coming from all of your friends and family who say they love you so much. Happy birthday to Daryl. He's turning 60 years old. We hope you have an awesome day celebrating and an awesome year ahead. And finally, happy anniversary wishes going out to Mike and Amy today, celebrating another year of love. Have a wonderful day together with lots of love from mom, dad, and all the family. If you have anything that you would like to celebrate, send us your milestones to Your Morning Saskatchewan at ctv.ca. You can also scan that QR code on your screen, but make sure you send those in one day in advance.
Oh, look at that. My morning got a whole lot brighter. There's Brandon Hall in the Pure Country studio talking about giving away some cash.
Oh, you sweet man. Thank you so much for saying those words. That helps. It's been a morning, and hopefully it'll be a huge morning of prizes and cash giveaways. $400 for the big money montage. I'm here to tell you right now, we're close. I can taste it. I can feel it. That someone's going to win it. So you can tune in, dial in to 92.7, or you can stream on our website, or you can also use the iHeartRadio app to listen for your chance to win. Now, the only way to listen to the sound, you can't hear it anywhere but on the air. So I was asked, like, can we listen to it? No, you got to tune in at 7 o'clock, and at 9 o'clock this morning, we'll have it for you. Or I guess I can do it by memory. So it sounds like this. Here's a montage. No, wait. Sounds like that. So figure it out and win $400.
How could somebody not get that? Thanks, Brendan. We'll see you again in an hour.
It's kind of like that. Thanks, buddy.
Plan. Well, I do. Oh, thank God.
The final trailer is out for Wicked for Good, the conclusion of the big screen extravaganza based on the Tony Award-winning musical starring Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande flies into theaters November 21st.
It's going to be a coordinated mass attack. Locked and loaded, been planted for months. The hunt has begun.
Not quite. Apple TV Plus has postponed the launch of its limited series, The Savant, inspired by the true story of a woman who infiltrates online hate groups to prevent attacks. It was scheduled to debut Friday. Executive producer and star Jessica Chastain posted on Instagram she's not aligned with the decision to postpone, writing, "While I wish this show wasn't so relevant, unfortunately it is. The Savant is about the heroes who work every day to stop violence before it happens, and honoring their courage feels more urgent than ever." No word yet from Apple on a new release date. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Time for your sidebar stories. What started as a shopping spree turned into a baseball dream. At 4 years old, JoJo loved baseball, started the journey to build him a baseball training facility in the basement. Look at that. Professional batting cage, gym, the whole deal right in the basement.
You know, shout out to the kids' parents, too, because
dedication,
that takes a lot of work.
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funding.
Mom's like, I could use a movie room or a sewing studio. No. We got to make the bigs.
What a lucky kid, though. To be loved is to be seen.
Yeah, hopefully he loves the sport. My goodness. Okay.
All right. Well, ever wonder how fast you can read? Here's a test for you. So if you've been keeping up, you're currently reading at 300 words per minute, where most people only read at 238 words per minute. They max out at 360 words per minute, which is 61% faster than the average person. A fun little test for you this morning.
Oh my goodness, how far did you make it?
I had it until you distracted me by talking. I had to really focus.
I'll zip my lips, Jeremy.
That's what we do sometimes here on Your Morning Timeout. We're going to have your news and your weather forecast coming up in a couple of minutes as we take a look over the fine city of Regina. It's Thursday, September 25th.
Your bank records. What did the RBC say about your bank records?
Prime Minister Mark Carney had his financial data accessed, with an RBC employee now facing charges.
The stay order only makes things stay the way they are now.
A last-minute stay from the Supreme Court saves 400 ostriches in BC from a planned cull for now.
It is disappointing because we had a bit of a lead, and we've let it slip.
Jays playoff tickets go on sale today, but frustrated fans are wondering what round will they be playing in. Stay with us, Canada. Your morning starts right now. everything that's in the prompter. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. My name is Daryl Rummel.
I am Kayleen Sawatsky. Good morning and happy Thursday.
We are all battling something.
We are, and you know what? It will just not quit.
No. If you're battling a cold, we are with you. We feel you, absolutely. Better temperatures today?
Well, it's dropping a bit, but I like that. It's more fall. We need the more fall temperatures, right?
Time to get those pumpkin patch.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to your news headlines for this part of the hour. The Prime Minister, as we mentioned, heading to the UK to talk trade and other geopolitical issues. Mark Carney will be in London from Thursday to Sunday. He is set to meet with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, but also the Prime Ministers of Iceland, Australia, Spain, and Denmark. Carney just wrapped up a trip to the United Nations in New York, and last week he was in Mexico trying to strike a deal advancing economic and security ties. And an RBC employee is facing charges for allegedly accessing the Prime Minister's personal data.
This is the Prime Minister's financial information. And what I gather from this is that this is clearly information that could be potentially leveraged by what we call a threat actor.
The RCMP charged Ibrahim El Hakim with fraud over $5,000, unauthorized use of a computer, identity theft, and trafficking in identity information. They were working off a tip from the RBC itself. The RCMP say there is no threat to the Prime Minister's safety or national security. The suspect is no longer working at RBC and is due back in court next month. Former Canadian diplomat Michael Kovrig claims that scrapping Canadian tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles would be a mistake.
If Canada becomes dependent in its supply chains on Chinese electrical vehicles, that becomes another choke point where China can effectively control and influence Canadian policy. You risk giving up sovereignty and giving away too much leverage to China if you do those things. And in the case of electric vehicles, you risk completely hollowing out the entire supply chain and technological and industrial base of automotive.
Kovrig was arrested in 2018 and formally charged with spying by Chinese authorities. He was released 4 years ago. He says it's not a very complicated negotiation for both countries to remove their respective tariffs, but he says Canada needs to protect Canadians and domestic industry. Turn our attention to Saskatoon, and Marquis Downs racetrack is soon going to be a thing of the past, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's going to become a gravel parking lot, Daryl. It is the end of an era in Saskatoon. After 56 years, the city has sealed the fate of Marquis Downs, and the facility will now be destroyed. Keenan Sorokon has the details.
They haven't paved paradise, but Marquis Downs is becoming a parking lot. City Council ended 5 years of neglect by approving Prairieland's plans to demolish the stands, the horse barns, and remove the racetrack so it can become a gravel parking lot instead.
We're doing it all in a month without any public consultation? What's the rush? Like, where's everybody going? Why do we need a parking lot so urgently?
And down the stretch they come. Love that beat. Here's Charles the Bull. Now he's kicked in for the finals.
Marquis Downs opened in 1969 and hosted horse racing every weekend from May to September until COVID-19 canceled the 2020 season. That would end up being its last season of racing. A group looking to bring a professional soccer team to the city planned to use the grandstand as part of a $28 million stadium before soaring construction costs and inflation put the project out of reach. Tarasov wondered how in 2 years the grandstand went from being part of a new stadium build to becoming a useless structure in need of destruction.
Have some public engagement. A parking lot isn't urgently required.
But neither is any conversation with residents.
And there's nothing under the lease that would allow us to force Prairieland to have public consultation about this issue.
Now the historic track is filled with weeds after years of neglect, and the horse racing community said this in a statement to CTV News. It's a dagger through the heart of equine sport that the grandstand and track are being destroyed and reduced to a gravel parking lot. Shame on you, Prairieland. Council is expected to get an update from Prairieland Park sometime next year with new plans for the area. Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Daryl, the Saskatchewan Serious Incident Response Team looking into the circumstances of a suspect being hit by the driver of a police vehicle.
Police were called, Jeremy, to Broadway Street on a business last Wednesday over an alleged theft and rock throwing. Police finding 2 suspects. A short time later, the 2 fled, and officers chased one of them, a 22-year-old man, into a grassy area. 1 officer in a vehicle, 1 on foot. In the ensuing chase, the man was hit by the driver of the vehicle and fell. He was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, but RCMP have called in CERT to investigate. The other man was arrested later the same day. Both men face a slew of charges related to the initial investigation and have court dates set. 1 person has died in a shooting at an ICE facility in Dallas, Texas. Police say the shooter opened fire from a nearby rooftop onto the Immigration and Customs Enforcement location, or ICE. 1 detainee has died. 2 others were critically injured. Authorities have identified the shooter who turned the gun on himself. The investigation is still underway. Tropical storm Umberto has formed in the Atlantic. The storm is expected to affect the eastern U.S. within the next 5 days. It's one of 2 major storms through the Atlantic right now. Hurricane Gabrielle is racing toward the Azores Islands. A hurricane warning is now in effect in the area, which could see dangerous conditions as early as today. Speed cameras could soon be a thing of the past in the country's largest province. Ontario Premier Doug Ford is expected to announce a ban on speed cameras later this morning. Could you imagine that on Ring Road or Idlewild Drive? Well, in recent weeks, the Premier has called the devices a tax grab and say they unfairly target motorists. However, many groups, including the Ontario Chiefs of Police, have spoken up in favor of speed cameras in light of Premier's attacks. See how that goes. A refugee hiring event took place in Regina Wednesday for job seekers and local employers. At this career fair, 67 of the 135 applicants were chosen to meet with businesses from a variety of different industries, including hospitality, childcare, customer service, etc. Applicants were given the opportunity to talk to a job coach before their interviews, and encouragement and motivational successful as well. Candidates will be given an offer or a second interview.
It's equally an opportunity for employers to come to know about, our community that is here, who have all the skills that are required for the jobs, and all they need is that connection made.
This is the second hiring event, and organizers hope to have more in the future. Coming off their final bye week of the regular season, your Saskatchewan Roughriders may be getting some injured players back in the lineup soon. Offensive lineman Philippe Gagnon tore his bicep before the season even started. He's been taking regular reps at practice. In the receiving corps, Sam Emelis, Kean Schaefer-Baker, a lot of you have their jerseys. They're both dealing with long-term injuries to their legs, have been full practice participants, so they're back on the field. That's good news. Defensive back Marcus Sales, who didn't suit up for the Riders in their loss to Montreal, looks on track to play as well.
It hurt me. I'm one of those guys. I love being on the field. I mean, I love playing with these guys, and hopefully, when I'm on the field, I can help as much as possible. But we got guys that can make plays as well. Unfortunately, they got the better hand that week. But as long as we continue to put our head forward and continue practicing well, we'll have another opportunity to make those plays.
Sales looks to be the only reinforcement coming this week for the secondary. Of course, you made some beautiful subs with Janelle Lippi not too long ago, Kayleen. They were crushing subs over at Jersey Mike's.
Listen, Janelle is an athlete on the field, but also in the sandwich shop. She can make a good sandwich.
Multi-talented personnel, that's what we call her.
And she's also just fabulous. Shout out to her.
She's very, very sick. She needs the boost. What's going on?
All right, well, let's take this look outside. Absolutely beautiful start to the day. We see Saskatoon, this beautiful shot of downtown, that fall foliage in Regina. Really a great day to be waking up across Saskatchewan. Regina seeing warm temperature to start the day. We've actually gone down in the past few minutes, but still warm compared to some places in Saskatchewan that we're actually into those negative temperatures overnight. 4 degrees right now, calm winds. In Saskatoon, temperature has also gone down. We were at 1 degree just a few minutes ago, now sitting at 0 degrees. Things are going to be improving very shortly, though. Now, the Futurecast showing that we aren't seeing a whole lot in Saskatchewan today, when we are going to be seeing some more interesting things pop up on our screen there, is going to be during those overnight hours, where we see that system making its way in from Alberta, tracking eastward. It's going to be impacting Saskatchewan starting overnight and then into early tomorrow morning. Saskatoon could be seeing some of that rain early tomorrow morning, so that will likely be impacting your community commute tomorrow. But then in the afternoon, we sort of see how the clouds start to curve around Saskatoon and making way for sunny skies tomorrow afternoon. Current temperatures now, as I mentioned, showing that it is a little bit cool to start the day, but South End at 5 degrees, so that's nice to see. Melfort up to 3 degrees this hour. Moose Jaw at 3 degrees, Estevan at 6 degrees, and East End starting the day at 5 degrees. Today's wind gusts looking a little bit more calm for Saskatoon and Regina, and when I say that, I mean that it's just not going to be reaching into those 40-45 kilometer per hour winds that we saw yesterday, but Saskatoon still could be seeing them gusting up to about 35 kilometers per hour, Regina up to about 30 kilometers per hour. In Kindersley and Swift Current, those are the places that we see lighting up in yellow on your screen there, so they could be just surpassing 40 kilometers per hour this afternoon. Your national forecast showing that the prairies are going to be warm today compared to that west coast. So Vancouver reaching 16 degrees with that cloud cover today. Prince George reaching 12 degrees with some rain this afternoon. Calgary up to 24. Winnipeg up to 18 degrees with that sunshine. And as we turn our attention to the east, Toronto with some rain this afternoon up to 21. Montreal up to 18 degrees. And Halifax up to 20 degrees with that mix of sun and cloud. Your 5-day forecast showing that we have some nice temperatures on the way for the weekend. 25 on Saturday and 24 on Sunday with some fairly calm winds for that. And in Saskatoon, again, a very pleasant weekend ahead. 21 degrees on Saturday, 22 on Sunday.
Your morning, this country's top baby names list is out. Find out what tops the list. Jeremy Dodge is a talented fellow, but can he play the bagpipes? Set your PVR for about 8:15 if you're not around. At about 7:40 on CTV Regina and Yorkton, you will see a conversation with Regina's mayor. And on CTV Saskatoon and Prince Albert, same time, Jeremy talks with author Craig Silliphant about his book, Bunny Hug Sycophant, or Cynic, rather. Not Sycophant, Cynic. We're back in about 2 minutes. Set up your PVRs for that Dodge bagpipe segment.
There's another sunny rural forecast on tap for your Thursday today. Watch up to 21 degrees, Wynyard up to 19 degrees, and Outlook up to 22 this afternoon. Rockland down in the south up to 22 degrees as well. Coronach 23, and Broadview and Carlisle just a few degrees below that, reaching that afternoon high of 19 degrees. Now let's take a look at Radville, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. The high today going to be 22 degrees. Sunshine all afternoon long. Some southeast winds, though, coming in between 25 and 35 kilometers per hour.
All right, let's go back out on the go to Mike Siona, who is at Wanuskewin Heritage Park ahead of the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Mike, we're learning all about the programming they're running on Tuesday, included those guided gallery tours.
Yeah, we certainly are, which is really cool, actually, Jeremy, because you don't on a regular basis get a guided tour of the galleries. There are two here, and I'm joined with Assistant Curator Erica McMaster to talk about it. First and foremost, we are here in this gallery, which the last day to see is actually Tuesday on National Day for Truth and Reconciliation.
Yes, so right now we're in the Greg Yule Gallery, and we have the exhibition on right now entitled Mamawe. So it's a community collaboration of 9 Indigenous artists from across Canada, and it touches on the topic of the missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, and Two-Spirit individuals on that crisis, and it kind of talks about, through various art mediums, just about the topic and the epidemic. So this exhibition will be led by our curator here, Marcel Robitaille.
Fantastic. Now, we're looking at this, at the teepee with the strings, and this is a very interactive display, I understand.
Yes, it is. So this teepee, we've gone through maybe about 15 in the time that the exhibition has been up. So it's a way for people to just remember and to pay their respect to the individuals who have gone missing during this epidemic by tying a red ribbon around the teepee, just as a tangible symbol to remember these people.
So each of these ribbons was tied by somebody who's come to the exhibit. You said there were like 15 of these. Yes. Incredible. Now let's talk about the other gallery and what's going on in there.
Yes. So in our Olivia Gallery, Gallery, we have an exhibition entitled Saskatoon Bush on right now, and that is by an artist named Francesca Raven-Bell. She's from the Okanagan, and that was put on as part of our Olivia and Greg Ewell Artist in Residence program. So Francesca was actually at Wanuskewin for the entire month of July, where she connected with the public. She made her digital illustrations, her acrylic works, and I'll be leading the tours of that gallery on the 30th.
Very cool. A great opportunity to get a little bit more insight, to have a guide to take you through these galleries. And we're not showing you the other one. You're going to have to come down yourself if you want to see it. Tuesday would be a great day, obviously, with the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation across Canada. And yeah, Wanuskewin's the place to be. Wanuskewin.com for a list of everything that's going on, and stay with us. We'll be back here in about an hour.
Heard me say on the show, the hardest thing to do in the world is name a baby.
It is.
Because no matter what you say, somebody's going to just crap all over it. So Statistics Canada has released its list of the most popular baby names for girls and boys this year. For the 9th year running, Olivia is the most popular name for girls, while Noah tops the list for boys. Olivia is what Sarah wanted to name Arya at first. So glad that we didn't do that, because then 84 hands go up, right?
Well, to be fair, Olivia is a beautiful name.
It's a great name. There's nothing wrong with it. There's just 6,000 of them per town. Runners-up were Liam and Charlotte. Sophia with a PH and Sophia with an F came in separately at 5th and 6th. If you're wondering, which we weren't, Daryl was ranked 2,550th on the list, Jeremy at 315th, and Kayleen at 2413.
So Daryl was like least popular than Kayleen?
Extinct.
I've never even met another Kayleen.
There we go. There's a lot of Jeremys thanks to Pearl Jam.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
And Dodge, of course.
Yes.
There you go. If you're naming a baby, those maybe stick away from the ones that are highly used. It's One Hit Wonder Day today.
Yes, yeah, National One Hit Wonder Day. So we're asking you, what is your favorite one-hit wonder? Getting some great answers on the board. I had to put this one first. Come On Eileen, because this song has haunted me my whole
come on,
life.
Kayleen. Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone has said, come on, Kayleen.
Yeah, I feel it so much.
My whole life. I also get Kayleen for Jolene, that song.
Okay.
So
I get the Newhart Show. I get Larry and Your Other Brother Daryl and Your Other Brother Daryl.
Okay. Margie on X saying, Who Let the Dogs Out?
Okay.
Edwin saying, Hey, Mickey. Heather saying, my favorite one-hit wonder has to be 8675309.
Tommy Two-Tone.
Jenny.
That's a really good one. And Heather also said she had to go listen to it to get it out of her head. And since I read that answer, I have had it stuck in my head. So thank you, Heather.
So good.
Nathan saying, Your Love by The Outfield. Anita saying, Little Arrows. And one more answer for you on here, Take On Me.
Which is by Aha, not Aha. But that's okay. But that's okay. Toby, we're with you. We feel you.
Well, maybe if they had more hits, then we would fully know the name.
Maybe it.
Thank you for your answers so far. We want to hear some more, though. So text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply. You can also scan that QR code on your screen. Let us know, what's that one-hit wonder that gets stuck in your head?
Hello there, Kara Wagland inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday, and it comes from the end of the Red Sox-Blue Jays game. Bottom 9, Jays down 7-1 with 2 away. Alejandro Kirk hits one to right field. Willie Abreu comes up throwing, gets Kirky easily to end the game. Kirk, not known for being the fastest runner. That is a tough way to end things on a 9-3 putout. Toronto has scored 1 run or fewer in 6 of their last 7 games. Their division lead is gone. That is your must-see moment. And coming up tonight on TSN, it is Thursday Night Football between the Seahawks and the Cardinals. Seattle has won 7 straight meetings, 5 of those by double digits. Kickoff for that game goes at 8:15 Eastern, at 7:15 Central Time. That's all for now from Sports Center. Have a great day.
is time for your morning mystery. Jeremy and I trying to keep our streak alive. Kayleen getting back in the win column today, I hope. It is a show today. Clue number 1 is this Canadian TV show is primarily filmed in and around Toronto. Canadian in and around Toronto. Clue number 2, the concept of the show was that an ownerless dog, okay? I think I got it from that one. Okay. The theme, Maybe Tomorrow, is one of the most recognizable songs in all of Canada. Whiteboard's out, writing your answers.
Speaking of one-hit wonders.
Let's see if I spelled one of the words right. Okay, Kayleen.
I drew a dog.
Okay, you're halfway there.
Oh, boy.
Halfway there. That's got to be right. Hold on. Answer is The Littlest Hobo. I'm going to give that to you. You drew a dog.
I drew a dog.
Extra credit, in fact. Extra credit, in fact. Littlest Hobo is your...
I don't know.
When was this on the air?
I look like a German Shepherd.
There was a long time before you were born.
Long time ago.
That was your morning mystery.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
It's time now for a look at your school day forecast, brought to you by CAA Saskatchewan, CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out the door right now, it's a cooler start to the day. 4 degrees in Regina, 0 degrees for Saskatoon, 18 degrees by lunch in Regina, about 17 degrees by lunch in Saskatoon. And by final bell, both cities sitting at the same temperature, 21 degrees. That is the expected daytime high for Saskatoon, and just below the expected daytime high for Regina of 22 degrees. We'll be reaching that at about 4 p.m. today. And as we go to break, here's a look at today's gas prices in Regina. The most common cost to fill up, $135.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $114.9. And in Saskatoon, the common cost to fill up, $135.9, but you might find the lowest price at $124.9. Taking a look at the farm markets, the street price of canola at $556.52 per ton this morning, and the futures price $624.10 per ton. Amber Durham wheat at $278.60 per ton, and Red Spring wheat at $232.92 per ton this morning. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading down at 71.98 cents U.S. When we come back, the numbers are in. How many of you tuned in to Jimmy Kimmel's return to late night television? Find out when we return.
Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. It is just about 7:30. My name is Daryl. The NDP in this province accusing the government of stacking the Saskatchewan Health Authority board with political operatives. The opposition says half of the 10-member board is comprised of people who have campaigned for the Sask party. It says some board appointments go back several years. The NDP believe it would be more appropriate to appoint healthcare professionals to that board.
And I would add also that if you have someone that does have some experience in this area and that has also served as your campaign manager, they should not be put on the board, because people also need to have, there has to also be the appearance of independence, right? The SHA should be operating independent of government.
The government says it's been transparent about who serves on the board, pointing to healthcare metrics and its goal of improving access and outcomes for patients. Serving on the SHA board is considered part-time work. Chairperson makes $58,000 a year. A Saskatchewan man at the center of a drunk driving crash that killed a couple and injured a child is back behind bars. Laura Woodward on why the parole board revoked his release.
39-year-old Tyler Seeley is back in prison. The Parole Board of Canada deciding he hasn't made changes to his life and poses a risk to society. In 2020, Seeley veered into oncoming traffic on Highway 41 and crashed into a truck. Marjorie Klassen and her husband Gord Klassen were killed. Seeley's 4-year-old daughter, riding in the back seat, broke her arms and suffered a head injury. Later that year, Seeley was convicted for impaired driving and handed a prison sentence sentence of just over 5 years. He was granted statutory release last January. This summer, Seeley was reported at a liquor store, a violation of his release conditions. A drug test came back positive for meth and cocaine. Officers could not find Seeley at the location where he was supposed to be staying, according to the parole board. He was ordered to turn himself in, but didn't report to police until 2 days later. Seeley told officers he had used the drugs during a celebration of life. The parole board decided to send Seeley back behind bars. With his statutory release revoked, Seeley will remain in prison for the remainder of his sentence unless the parole board approves a new application where Seeley would need to show meaningful change and prove he's not a risk to public safety. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Police in Prince Albert have made an arrest in an armed robbery at a business Tuesday night. It happened just before midnight on September 23rd on the 2800 block of 6th Avenue East. Police say a person robbed a business with a knife and fled with an undisclosed amount of merchandise. Officers used surveillance video to get a suspect description and then tracked down a 34-year-old man now charged with robbery, resisting arrest, and more. He'll be in court today. RCMP officers in BC are investigating escalating threats of violence directed at businesses thought to be in association with the cull of nearly 400 ostriches, which has now been delayed by the Supreme Court of Canada. The RCMP say businesses have been flooded with calls and emails since Monday, with language intended to intimidate them if they continue to participate in the cull ordered by the CFIA rather. In response to the outbreak of avian influenza, one company reported threats that its offices would be shot at and its employees would be followed and shot at their homes. Police say some of the businesses targeted were by error. The Mounties say the goal is to make arrests and submit charges to prosecutors soon. In the second night back from suspension, Jimmy Kimmel spent part of his monologue responding to a tweet from U.S. President Donald Trump critical of his show.
I did hear from one very special friend. Moments after we taped our show last night, the Mad Red Hatter wrote, "I can't believe ABC Fake News gave Jimmy Kimmel his job back." You can't believe they gave me my job back. I can't believe we gave you your job back.
In the show's return to late night following its suspension, Jimmy Kimmel Live averaged about 6.3 million viewers on traditional television, more than 3 times the show's typical TV viewership. His monologue from the return show has racked up almost 20 million views, making it the most viewed monologue of all time on the platform. Kimmel says his show is still off the air in around 30 cities in the U.S. Air Canada estimates the cost of the summer labor disruption at $375 million on operating income. Air Canada says it now expects to make between $2.9 million and $2.9 and $3.1 billion earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization for the full year, down from between $3.2 and $3.6 billion that was projected in August. Air Canada expects operating capacity to decline by around 2% this quarter due to the cancellation of more than 3,000 flights during the flight attendant strike. The airline says refunds, customer compensation, and lower travel bookings, as well as an increased operating cost, all contributed to the revenue projection. The former head of the FBI could be indicted as soon as today. The Justice Department in the U.S. preparing to ask a grand jury to indict James Comey on allegations the former FBI director lied to Congress. It comes just days after U.S. President Donald Trump publicly asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to charge many of his political adversaries, including Comey. The possible charges are tied to testimony Comey gave in 2020 in relation to the investigation into ties between Russia and Trump during his first run for the White House in 2016. The statute of limitations runs out next week. Regina's Interpro steel plant turned back the pages of time, reintroducing the Canada Goose as its corporate symbol. A recently restored 10-foot goose statue was unveiled at a ceremony outside the plant. Wayne Mantica was there.
The goose is back.
Employees of Regina's Interpro Pipe and Steel were excited as the company prepared to unveil a restored 10-foot statue of a Canada goose. It was the plant's original symbol.
I got goose memorabilia all over the house still from the first go-around with IPSCO.
The Canada goose goes back to the 1960s, when the Regina plant was known as IPSCO. The statue was retired in 2007 as the company went through ownership changes. It was recently removed from a nearby park and sent for restoration as the newly named Interpro Pipe and Steel returns to its roots.
Just to see the goose back was something that I'll never forget. And I was so proud that they took the time to understand our roots and make sure that they were going to leverage that moving forward.
It was a nostalgic moment for longtime employees who attended the statue unveiling.
It's actually historic because when we first heard about the change into Pro Pipe and Steel and to see the goose come back, hey, it was the good old days. So we're excited.
Business is rebounding at the Regina Steel plant under its new ownership as orders come in. Interpro is currently hiring 400 additional workers, bringing the total workforce back to over 1,000. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
Their hands on playoff tickets today, but there might be bigger worries right now.
Disappointed tonight, but I have a really good feeling that they're going to come back and they're going to be stronger going into the future.
Maybe, maybe not. The Jays lost their 6th game in 7 last night with the bats silent again in a 7-1 loss to my Boston Red Sox, so I kind of enjoyed it. Wild Card Series starts September 30th. The ALDS starts October 4th. We'll have to wait to see where the Jays end up in that whole thing. Let's get over to the weather forecast with Kayleen Sawatsky. It still feels like midsummer baseball weather out there.
It certainly does, although yesterday was feeling a lot more like summer than today is going to. We are seeing a significant drop-off for those temperatures today, but it is still going to be above the seasonal average. And you know, we like to talk a lot about how the temperatures lately has been above the seasonal average for the daytime highs, but I also want to mention those lows. We're still seeing those lows well above the seasonal average as well. This time of year, the average high 16, the average low is 1 degree, and those lows that we're seeing for our 7-day forecast that you'll see in just one short minute, a lot of those numbers are still into double digits. So there is a lot of positives for the weather forecast today. 4 degrees right now for Regina, some very calm winds, still sitting at 0 degrees for Saskatoon. Those temperatures have gone up and then fluctuated back down this morning, so definitely grab a jacket on your way out the door. The futurecast looking pretty unremarkable for your day today. Tomorrow, really starting during the overnight hours, we are going to be seeing some rain making its way in from Alberta. Not really going to be impacting a whole lot of those major cities until the early morning tomorrow. Saskatoon could be seeing some of that rainfall around 8 a.m. tomorrow, so that likely will be impacting your commute, but then not going to be impacting you into the afternoon. We are expecting a lot of sunshine for Saskatoon tomorrow. Now, today's wind gusts looking like we are going to be seeing the strongest around Kindersley and Swift Current, really right around the western border with Alberta today. Saskatoon and Regina still could be seeing some higher wind gusts today, but still lower than what we saw yesterday. So Saskatoon could be seeing them up to about 35 kilometers per hour, Regina up to about 30 kilometers per hour. Current temperatures showing that Buffalo Narrows is now at 4 degrees, Nipawin at 4 degrees as well. Spiritwood, cooler start to the day, 0 degrees right now. Hudson Bay at 4 degrees. Some of these temperatures down towards the south have actually gone down as well. So Estevan was at 7 degrees just a few minutes ago. Now they've popped down to 6 degrees. Assiniboia at 4 degrees. East End at 5 degrees, and Yorkton starting the day at 4 degrees. Now, the highs for the afternoon, once again, looking a lot lower than what we saw yesterday, but still above that seasonal average. So we are still seeing a very pleasant forecast. Swift Current up to 24 today, Battleford's up to 21, Yorkton up to 19, and Estevan up to 21 degrees. With all of that sunshine, your 7-day forecast, as I mentioned, those lows still looking rather high. Some more cloud cover on the way for the weekend with those nice high temperatures, 25 on Saturday, 24 on Sunday for Regina. And in Saskatoon, again, the weekend looking rather pleasant, 21 on Saturday, 22 on Sunday, and we are expecting some precipitation on the way for middle of next week. Your morning just got a whole lot richer. We're giving away a staggering $20,000, and it's time for today's code word. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is 1,000. Head to the contest page on our website or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter that code word along with your information for your chance to win CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan's $20,000 giveaway.
Wardrobe consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop, defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
Regina City Council has opted into Saskatchewan's Safe Public Spaces Street Weapons Act. The mayor is in studio with us this morning, Chad Wyszynski. Chad, thank you for doing this. Saskatoon, we saw recently follow suit in adopting this act. Why did you decide to opt in?
Yeah, ultimately we heard from we heard from a number of delegates, and we heard from Regina Police themselves to explain what this means to them, and ultimately this gives them additional tools to actually address issues of certain types of weapons that are outlined in the act, to essentially deal with certain situations without necessarily laying a criminal charge for somebody.
Is this going to make our cities safer?
It gives the police the tools to take dangerous things like bear spray and machetes and other items listed in that act off our streets where it makes sense. So less weapons on the street ultimately should lead to safer streets.
Yeah, make the Queen City X safer. Every year we get reports of bear spray. Lead service connection is also discussed at City Council. What's the problem in the older residential areas right now?
Yeah, so we still have some lead service connections left in the city. I was very proud that city administration brought forward a number of options to be able to address the safe drinking water that we need to provide to residents while we replace those connections. And so we actually removed some financial barriers, allowing more folks to be able to finance some of the residential side connection construction over the longer term through their property taxes. So we enabled more tools and removed financial barriers for people to have safe drinking water in the interim while we finish up that program.
That's the impetus for a lot of the construction that we're seeing in the downtown right now, replacing those lead service lines. We had them on the show earlier this month to talk about the project that's hopefully going to be done here in October. A lot of money. Winter and road repair construction is still a main priority for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's great to see the progress that's happened. I mean, we're seeing some great progress on Dudney. We're seeing paving stones go in, so those are some of those finishing touches, which is fantastic. And we're seeing up to Rose Street now. We've now opened on 11th Avenue, so seeing some great progress and seeing some openings here, which is great.
A lot of complaints to your office, though?
Well, absolutely, there's frustration, and I acknowledge that absolutely it's frustrating to get around and maneuver around construction, but construction is a sign of progress, and it's a sign of growth of our city, that we're investing in our city, so it's very important.
And speaking of investing, you're deciding where tax dollars go right now. That budget process, first time you've ever opened it up to the entire, where you can see it on YouTube and your website and all that kind of stuff. How's it going?
Yeah, really well. I'm extremely thankful for the efforts that were put in to get to this place where we have a very open and transparent process. I've been speaking to a number of residents and folks to talk about, I want to make sure that we're debating the math of the budget at the end of the day. We need to decide, what is the service level that residents expect and how much that costs and what is that balance that we need to achieve. And by doing this, it allows residents to come along that journey with council and see where we start in terms of our budget shortfall and our revenue shortfall and where we need to get to in terms of what the expectation of service is.
And what if they disagree with it?
That's why we have this process. We want to take that feedback and we want to understand and try and get to where the majority of our residents agree that this is the service that we expect as a city.
Mr. Mayor, thank you so much. How about your Blue Jays? You going to do okay?
We're hoping. We're rooting for them.
The struggles are on. Your top 8 as well. Thank you so much for being here. This is the mayor, regina.ca for more information. Here's what's happening in our community. A medical fundraiser dinner and silent auction happening Thursday, September 25th at 6:30 p.m. at the Serbian Club, 2775 Avonhurst Drive, 306-541-4465. If you're in Weyburn, check out the Weyburn Concert Series Thursday, September 25th at 6:30 p.m., 633 King Street, Weyburn Cognet Center. If you'd like your event shown here, email us, reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca. Do so at least 2 weeks in advance.
September 25th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We're starting off with a belated birthday wish for Natalie. Her birthday was on Saturday, September 20th. We hope you had a wonderful day with lots of love from Mama and Papa. Happy birthday wishes also going out to Aaliyah, who is now 12 years old. We hope your birthday was super special with lots of love from your friends and family. Also marking another trip around the sun is Sally. This shout out coming from Ron, Corey, Kelly, Jordan, and Natalie, who say they hope you have a wonderful birthday filled with love. And a big happy birthday going out to Chasen, who is officially a teenager today, wishing you an incredible 13th birthday filled with all the love and joy that you deserve. Lots of love from Papa, Cookham, little brother Jackson, and cousin Haley. Next up, a double birthday shout out going out to Alex and Arlo, turning 3 years old. Happy birthday, you two, with love from your mom, dad, sisters, and brother. And from a double birthday shout out to a quadruple one, happy birthday to Wayne, Ashley, Kai, and Maddox. We hope all 4 of you enjoy your special day. Happy birthday. A big happy birthday also going out to Marlene, celebrating her 87th birthday. We hope it's a great one. This shout out coming from all of your friends and family who say they love you so much. Happy birthday to Daryl. He's turning 60 years old. We hope you have an awesome day celebrating and an awesome year ahead. And finally, happy anniversary wishes going out to Mike and Amy today, celebrating another year of love. Have a wonderful day together with lots of love from mom, dad, and all the family. If you have anything that you would like to celebrate, send us your milestones to Your Morning Saskatchewan at CTV.ca. You can also scan that QR code on your screen, but make sure you send those in 1 day in advance.
All right, have you ordered your Dumb and Dumber tux for Chase's wedding yet?
Darn it, I haven't.
No?
I'll get that.
Okay,
Get that quick.
Put it on the to-do list. What else are you talking about today?
Darius Rucker again. Hey, you could tell your partner there that Darius Rucker is actually starting a super group called Howl Owl Howl. It features the guitarist from REM, drummer from Black Crowes. They drop a brand new single on Halloween. So I don't know if she knows any of those bands, but that'd be kind of cool. I guess it's from Hootie, Howl Owl Howl. Anyways, maybe he'll sing it when he comes to Regina October 20th. Brand Center, we have tickets to give away with the useless question of the day. I'm going to give it to you here first. We're going to play it around 8:35. You can text 54321 your guess, which is 1 in 10 people have done this in their driveway. In fact, I did it this morning. So what do you think? Get on it early, 54321. Go see Hootie here in town.
She does know all those bands, for the record, which is great.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
Okay. Because she's so young.
Yeah, and vibrant-ish. I think it's probably brush your teeth.
Okay.
Brush your teeth.
Maybe.
There you go. You can go to the
That's a good
website.
one.
You can enter it. There you go. Brandon, thank you so much. We'll see you at Chase's wedding.
Bye-bye.
Be cooking up an Oscar. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Emily Blunt took to the red carpet in London Wednesday evening for the movie premiere of The Smashing Machine. The former wrestler turned Hollywood action star takes a shot at drama, playing MMA fighter Mark Kerr while donning facial prosthetics and a wig. Blunt co-stars as his wife. Johnson says he's grateful to hear the Oscar buzz.
Yeah, it's wild. You know, as a trailer park kid, and now any kind of conversation like that is... It's amazing. It's crazy.
Does that do what I think it does?
The final trailer for Wicked for Good is now out, which depicts a tense standoff between the Wicked Witch of the West and the Good Witch. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande reprised their roles from the first film, which came out last year. Mulaney is scheduled to become the first comedian to play a show at Wrigley Field in Chicago. That's set for July 11th of next year. If you're a Jim Henson fan, here's your chance to own a little bit of history. The Jim Henson Company is set to hold its 17th anniversary auction in November, where fans can bid on original props and puppets from Fraggle Rock, The Dark Crystal, and Muppet Treasure Island. It marks the first time the company has dipped into its extensive archives for an auction. And happy birthday to Luke Skywalker himself. Mark Hamill, who also starred in this year's The Long Walk and The Life of Chuck, is turning 74 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
Sidebar time. Kayleen and I always play a game to see who gets to go first by guessing the celebrity birthday. I was bang on today. Ever wonder how fast you can read? Here's a test for you. Okay, so you've been keeping up right now. You're reading at about 300 words per minute, where most people sit is about 238. They max out at 360, which is 61% faster than the average human. Great little fun test.
I think you can read faster than anybody else I know, Daryl.
I certainly can clip words at a pretty high rate, I've been told. I try not to. Jeremy, what do you have for us?
All right, we are going to talk about relationship goals as we head into Halloween.
You ever look at your person and think to yourself, wow, how did I land you?
Nice work.
Do you do couples costumes with your wife?
We do family costumes.
Oh,
I think it's trending towards Ninja Turtles this year.
Okay, Jeremy, do you do a couples costume?
No, we're not a big Halloween family, honestly. We don't go all out.
I'm confused as to why Mateo wants to do Ninja Turtles, because he's never seen the show. So
I'm trying to think of what my daughter will be for Halloween. She just learned how to say bok bok like a chicken, so I think I'm going to make her a chicken and just have it go bok bok.
There you go. You're already practiced. That's it for this hour. We're going to reset. We got your news and your weather right after this. Thursday, September 25th.
Your bank records. What did the RBC say about your bank records?
Prime Minister Mark Carney had his financial data accessed, with an RBC employee now facing charges.
We're doing it all in a month without any public consultation. What's the rush?
Saskatoon Racetrack will soon become a gravel parking lot. Why the facility will be destroyed after 56 years.
He was shaken. I was shaken when he told me. It's just like...
Meet Saskatchewan's newest millionaire and their reaction to the big win. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to the all-new Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl Rummel.
And I'm Kayleen Sawatsky. We hope your day is off to a great start.
And we have that $20,000 in cash to give away. My goodness. Those details coming up.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that contest. Get yourself a little more money in your pocket.
Yeah, just make sure that you listen to our instructions. If you text me, I'm not going to enter you. It's not on me to do that for you. Let's get to your news. The Prime Minister is heading to the UK to talk trade and other geopolitical issues. Mark Carney will be in London from Thursday to Sunday, set to meet with the Prime Minister of the UK, Keir Starmer, but also the Prime Ministers of Iceland, Australia, Spain, and Denmark. Just wrapped up a trip to the UN, as you know, in New York, and he struck a deal with Mexico on economic and security ties. An RBC employee, meantime, is facing charges for allegedly accessing the Prime Minister's personal data.
This is the Prime Minister's financial information. And what I gather from this is that this is clearly information that could be potentially leveraged by what we call a threat actor.
RCMP charged Ibrahim El-Hamik with fraud over $5,000, unauthorized use of a computer, identity theft, and trafficking in identity information. They were working off a tip from RBC. The RCMP says there is no threat to the Prime Minister's safety or national security. Suspect no longer working at the bank and is due back in court next month. Former Canadian diplomat Michael Kovrig claims that scrapping Canadian tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles would be a mistake.
If Canada becomes dependent in its supply chains on Chinese electrical vehicles, that becomes another choke point where China can effectively control and influence Canadian policy. You risk giving up sovereignty and giving away too much leverage to China if you do those things. And in the case of electric vehicles, you risk completely hollowing out the entire supply chain and technological and industrial base of automotive.
Now, Kovrig, as you'll remember, was arrested in 2018 and formally charged with spying by Chinese authorities. He was released 4 years ago. He says it's not a very complicated negotiation for both countries to remove their respective tariffs, but he says Canada needs to protect Canadian and domestic industry. India's new High Commissioner to Canada was sworn in at a ceremony in Rideau Hall yesterday. He says Canada and India have some work to do to build trust. Relations between the two countries have been tense since Canada accused India of playing a role in the killing of a Sikh activist in Surrey in 2023. Both countries expelled diplomats. The Prime Minister took a major step forward, mending the bilateral relationship when he invited Indian Prime Minister Modi to the G7 summit to Canada, hosted in the summer, as a special guest. Now, the two leaders agreed to restore their top diplomats back in June. Saskatoon's Marquis Downs, this historic racetrack in that city, becoming a gravel parking lot, Jeremy Dodge. A lot of reaction coming into this.
Yeah, Daryl, city councillors did approve plans from Prairieland to remove the track and demolish the grandstand and horse barns at its monthly meeting yesterday. So the city says the buildings are past their serviceable life. The area will be developed as a gravel parking lot until Prairieland comes back with a new plan for the area sometime next year. The decision puts an end to 5 years of uncertainty at the site after COVID canceled the 2020 racing season. A group looking to bring a professional soccer team planned to use the stands and turn the area into a stadium before inflation and construction costs soared. Members of the horse racing community called the decision a dagger through the heart, while others wondered why demolition's necessary.
We're doing it all in a month without any public consultation. What's the rush? Like, where's everybody going? Why do we need a parking lot so urgently?
The city says no part of Prairieland's lease agreement with the city requires public consultation. A Saskatchewan man convicted of killing 2 people and injuring his own daughter in a drunk driving crash is back behind bars. It was in 2020 when Tyler Seeley veered into oncoming traffic on Highway 41 and crashed into a truck, killing Marjorie and Gord Clausen and injuring his 4-year-old daughter riding in the back seat. Last year, January 2024, Seeley was granted statutory release, but now the Parole Board of Canada's revoked the release after Seeley breached his conditions by using meth and cocaine. The Parole Board says Seeley has not made changes to his life and poses a risk to the public, so he's now back in prison. All right, Daryl, supporters of a BC ostrich farm celebrating this morning.
Yeah, that's right. Just when it looked like the CFIA was going to cull the 400 birds, the Supreme Court of Canada stepped in to pause that plan. It's the latest twist in an emotional, long-running legal battle over the fate of the flock that was once infected with avian flu. Martin McMahon reports.
Shouts of joy at the Universal Ostrich Farm in Edgewood, with nearly 400 birds temporarily spared by a stay granted by the Supreme Court of Canada.
They live today! Just Omar's going to go through the paperwork, but he said it's been granted from the Supreme Court of Canada. They live today, and we have time. There's some time to figure out the next steps and the next options.
I just don't know what to say. I'm so overjoyed. I couldn't be happier. I just want to run and hug my birds, but I can't right now.
The order temporarily halts the Canada Food Inspection Agency from destroying the flock while the farm seeks leave to appeal.
The stay order only makes things stay the way they are now, but they still have the authority to be here.
The farm raised ostriches for meat until 2020, but says it's now focused on medical research. The CFIA ordered the cull last December following the detection of avian flu within the flock.
As much as I don't like the idea of advocating for the death of seemingly healthy animals, if those animals pose a threat scientifically, health-wise, or economically to Canada, I think that we need to take the same course that we've taken with all of our poultry bird flu outbreaks.
The stay follows a suspicious fire involving hay bales early this morning. The CFIA started building the hay enclosures yesterday in preparation for the cull. RCMP say the fire is under investigation and add officers will remain on site. Martin McMahon, CTV News.
We'll continue to follow that story. In the meantime, the city of Regina is celebrating National Tree Day by giving away 1,000 trees. Siberian large seedlings were available for residents to take and grow at the density of the city's urban forest. Regina is one of 60-plus Canadian cities that has designated a tree city of the world.
We can expect this tree to get to probably 15 or 20 feet in diameter, so give it lots of space in your yards. And the height can grow very, very tall, so I would expect around 40 feet.
Siberian larch is native to Saskatchewan and generally considered to be low maintenance. Going into the final stretch of the regular season, the Saskatchewan Roughriders may be getting some reinforcements back on the field. Jacob Carr reports.
See as Wheatfall goes to turn. He gets collision right on his knee right there.
Being without Marcus Sayles, among others in the secondary, saw the Riders lose their last game in giving up 48 points to Montreal. And for Sayles, having to be on the sidelines while the defense struggled was tough.
It hurt me. You know, I'm one of those guys. I love being on the field. I mean, I love playing with these guys, and you know, hopefully, you know, when I'm on the field, I can help as much as possible. But you know, we got guys that can make plays as well. You know, unfortunately, they got the better hand that week.
Sayles looks to be ready to return to the lineup this week, though, participating fully in both practices so far. In terms of a longer-term injury returning to the field, Philippe Gagnon is practicing for the first time this season since tearing his bicep in training camp. The offensive lineman, brought over from the Alouettes in the offseason, stuck around in the Queen City throughout his rehab process.
To me, it just signals that, you know, this isn't done. This isn't over. You know, I'm still committed to this. It's why I showed up here in camp. It's why I came here, is to, you know, see this through. And so it just felt symbolic to me to stay here the whole time.
The pass catchers could also be receiving some reinforcements. Kian Schaefer-Baker is on the field for the first time since suffering a foot injury early in the season. Sam Emilis is also taking reps but is unsure if he will play this week. Corey Mace also remains tight-lipped on his status.
We'll see. I mean, we're out there still ripping around, so we'll see towards the end of the week. But, you know, it's awesome to see 1-9 out there being able to move around a little bit. But as always, we'll just make sure we make the right decision for us.
If Emilis can go this week, Rider Nation will be looking for big plays like this one.
Comes Saskatchewan again. And that one to Emilis. 10, 5, touchdown.
Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Very exuberant Jacob Carr. Also be very excited about the forecast.
Yeah, exactly. We're seeing some very nice temperatures today all across Saskatchewan. We're just continuing that trend of seeing a whole lot of sunshine. Tomorrow is the day we could be seeing some more rain impacting the central parts of Saskatchewan. Saskatoon is included in that. Only going to be impacting Saskatoon in the early morning, though. I'll show you that on our futurecast. Let's talk about some current temperatures. 9 degrees right now to start our day. Winds have been going up ever so slightly. They were calm just a few minutes ago. Now they're only up to about 9 kilometers per hour in Regina and 6 kilometers per hour in Saskatoon as we sit at that 3-degree mark to wake us up. Now, I mentioned that rain that's on the way in the futurecast. You can't see anything really today, just that cloud cover way up north, but you can see it start making its way into the province during those overnight hours into early tomorrow morning, passing right over top of Saskatoon around 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then it's going to be pushing off just as quickly as it started, really going over top of Prince Albert later on in the morning and then exiting the province during the mid to late afternoon. Today's wind gusts showing that we're going to be seeing the highest gusts right along that western border there with Alberta. Kindersley and Swift Current could be seeing those gusts up to about 40 kilometers per hour. About 35 kilometers per hour is where we'll peak in Saskatoon, and about 30 kilometers per hour is where we'll peak in Regina today. Current temperatures showing that it's been fluctuating a little bit this morning. Now it seems like things are on the incline for those temperatures. La Ronge now up to 7 degrees. Hudson Bay at 6 degrees. Estevan just bumped up to 8 degrees. Moose Jaw now up to 6 degrees, and East End up to 6 degrees this hour as well. Now, the forecast for the afternoon showing a whole lot of sunshine yet again. 24 degrees for Swift Current this afternoon. The Battlefords up to 21. Yorkton up to 19 degrees. And Estevan up to 21 degrees this afternoon. And Regina, that high of 22 today, dropping down ever so slightly tomorrow to 21 degrees. Back up for your weekend. 25 on Saturday, 24 on Sunday, 24 on Monday, 24 on Tuesday. And then more of that cloud cover coming in on Wednesday. Not as much sunshine expected by the middle of next week. 21 degrees today for Saskatoon, 19 degrees tomorrow, 21 on Saturday with some more cloud cover coming into the picture, 22 on Sunday, 25 on Monday, and then some more rain coming in throughout early to middle of your next work week, 22 on Tuesday with that light drizzle, and 20 on Wednesday.
In case you missed it, another world record you didn't know existed. A Canadian man now holds the world record for the fastest run around Iceland.
30 kilometers left until I am a world record holder. Massive shout out to
Ryan Keeping of Halifax, very excited to run more than 1,300 miles along Iceland's Ring Road, 14 days, 13 hours, 18 minutes. The old record was like 2 days slower. He says he ran 16 to 18 hours a day, pausing mostly just to sleep, and there's a documentary being made about it.
1,300 kilometers, not miles, kilometers. That's a long way to go. My goodness. Congratulations to this fella.
Yeah, definitely.
You deserve that championship belt. However, you're collecting your national one-hit wonders today for One Hit Wonder Day?
Yeah, so some really good answers. And what I love about this question of the day is that we're just getting so many different answers. There's oftentimes we ask a question and we get a lot of repeats, whereas today, just so much variation. We have tub thumping coming in from Jason. We have Larry saying blue suede, hooked on a feeling.
Ooga shaka.
That one always reminds me of Shrek 2.
Of course.
We have Michelle saying groove is in the heart, and Carol saying that she has a few. Somebody that I used to know, Macarena, also Dance Monkey, and I know Jeremy and I said that somebody that I used to know is our favorite. We have Cars by Gary Newman. We had Rebecca write in and say Norman Greenbaum, Spirit in the Sky.
Spirit in the Sky.
Yeah, Glenn, Come On Eileen.
Come on, Kayleen.
Yeah, and I always have that one quoted back to me. Margie saying, Who Let the Dogs Out? Edwin saying, Hey, Mickey. And Heather saying, my favorite one-hit wonder has to be 867-5309. That has to be one of the most popular phone numbers that everybody can recite, hey?
I would have to think so.
Thank you so much for your answers for today's question of the day. We'll have an all-new one for you tomorrow.
A group of Yorkton firefighters hit the road recently, heading to Regina to run the Queen City Marathon. But as Virginia DeClute reports, their efforts weren't for personal glory. They were in support of a young man battling cancer.
A few weeks ago, Yorkton firefighters took part in the Queen City Marathon in support of a young Yorktonian who's been struggling with a rare type of cancer.
These are to raise funds for him and his family and all the travel expenses and the expenses that come from all the procedures that has been done the past couple years. So we try to do our part just to make a difference for him and his family.
15-year-old Ethan Petralba received his diagnosis 2 years ago.
So he has stage 4 lymphoma natural killer T cell. So all over the world is only 100 who has those kind of cancer, a very rare type.
To treat his disease, he and his family had to travel for treatment, ultimately moving away from Yorkton.
So my first move in Saskatoon was last year, and it was pretty hard for me having to move away from my friends because I've lived in Yorkton, like most of my entire life. So having a big change all of a sudden was really hard for me.
The firefighters learned about his story through a social media post and decided to help.
Every step we take in that marathon is kind of in support of Ethan and his family, and if he can go through what he's going through as a kid, why can't we run a marathon in support of him and show that we support him as well as the community here does as well.
Ethan is currently in remission, and fall has brought him a new challenge.
I've been off school for 2 years, so coming back to school after a long time, it was overwhelming, and I was pretty nervous, but then at the same time I was excited because I haven't experienced it in a long time.
Things are looking up for the Petralbas, who are thankful for those who pounded the pavement and raised over $4,000 so Ethan can focus on his recovery. Fruzina Daklut, CTV News, Yorkton.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
We're going to go out to Wanaskewin Park in Saskatoon. Mike, my wife's an ecologist. She loves that we're talking parks, and there's another good reason that we're doing that today.
No doubt about it, because on Tuesday is the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation here in Canada. And so we have been setting it up all morning long here at Wanaskewin Heritage Park. I'm now joined by Chanel Gamble, who is a dancer, and you guys are going to be part and parcel of this whole event on Tuesday. How many dancers are going to be out here, and how often are you guys going to be showcasing?
Yeah, for sure. There is going to be about, I want to say about 4 dancers that are going to come, which will also join with a round dance that will begin around 3 o'clock. And every dancer will come to share their story and to dance and to also share some of the teachings as well of the dances. And yeah.
Fantastic. Now, give me a sense of your story with dancing. How long have you been dancing?
I have been dancing for about 9 years now. I actually started when I was 16 years old, and I actually had reconnected a lot better with dancing working here at Wanaskewin. And so for me, dancing is, with every dancer, I found that there is a story that comes with every person, and all that is embedded in all the regalia that they wear and every step that they take and every story that they share as well, and the history that they carry as well with every piece they wear. So
no doubt about it. Well, let's without any further ado, we could talk about dancing, or we can watch some dancing. Chanel, go ahead. Let's get a little sneak peek of what we can expect to see on Tuesday. Well, there it is. Chanel Gamble showing us what we can expect to see on Tuesday for the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation. Come to Wanaskewin and check out the full list of what's going on at wanaskewin.com.
Well, I am decked out in full Scottish garb, or at least the best that we could provide on short notice, and I'm joined by Nate Lindsley, the director of the 96th Highlanders Pipes and Drums, who offer free bagpipes lessons to all those who are interested, and I am interested. So that is what we're going to attempt to do here today. Nate, I guess first, you've given me a set of these, but they're kind of awkward. How do I hold these?
Well, so what we've got on the bagpipes is here we've got 3 drones, and that's what kind of makes that background noise while we're playing. So you're going to take this big long drone, it's called our bass drone.
Okay.
This one, and you're going to put it up on your left shoulder like this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, up like so. And then where does my arm underneath?
And then your arm goes underneath all of them.
Okay.
You're going to take your left hand, and it's going to go on top of this part. This is called a chanter. And then you're going to take, this is a blowpipe.
Yeah.
That's what you blow into. You're going to take that, put it in your mouth, and then you have to bite down on it to keep it in place.
Okay. Yeah.
And then here, you're going to put this up here. There you go. This hand here, that hand there. And now you got to fill that bag up nice and full. Yeah. Keep going, keep going. Yeah.
That's a lot of air.
Yeah. Keep going. Yeah. And now blow really hard.
Oh,
Squeeze the bag. Keep on, keep on. Keep on. Keep on, keep going, keep going. There you go. There you go. Keep on, keep on. You got it. There. And now you got to move your fingers at the same time. One more time, one more time. There we go. There we go.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Wow. That is. How do we make it
Just
quiet?
Lift your arm up. There you go.
How does it end? Okay. That's a lot of hard work.
Yes, it is.
It takes incredible training. I had no idea. So you basically have to be constantly blowing.
Yep. Well, you got to blow, and then you got to squeeze your arm
you
at
got to
the
learn.
same time.
You got to learn how to do all these things at once. I'm not that good at multitasking, but I guess that's part of becoming a piper, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
How long have you been doing this?
This is my 12th year.
12 years. Yep. All right. So you're a seasoned veteran. Want to show me how it's supposed to sound really quickly?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course I can.
Man, I'm so embarrassed. Please. All right, that's how it's supposed to sound. If you want, you can learn how to do just that, not this. Okay, you'll be much better than me. You'll have a lot more time to do it. Nate, if someone is interested in showing how much better than me they can be at this, how do they do so?
Well, we've got a website. It's www.96.ca. We've also got a Facebook page and an Instagram page.
All right. So, it's interesting. I was surprised. Maybe you will be as well. Maybe you can find something new to add to your repertoire and put on your resume and your dating profile, too. Nate, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Saskatchewan, it is 8:30. Here are the headlines you need to start your day. Developing news out of Ottawa this morning. The parliamentary budget officer says Ottawa's annual deficit will rise to $68.5 billion this year. That's up from $51.7 billion last year. The interim PBO, Jason Jacques, also says the federal debt to GDP is no longer on a declining path over the medium term. The PBO's update does not include plans to incrementally ramp up defense spending or plans to reduce public service spending over the next 3 years. The office says the ongoing trade war with the U.S. is dragging down Ottawa's tax revenue and pushing deficits higher as the Liberals ramp up capital spending. The NDP is accusing the provincial government of stacking the Saskatchewan Health Authority board with political operatives. The opposition says half of the 10-member board is comprised of people who campaigned for the Sask party. It says some of the appointments go back several years. The NDP believe it would be more appropriate to appoint healthcare professionals to that board.
And I would add also that if you have someone that does have some experience in this area and that has also served as your campaign manager, they should not be put on the board, because people also need to have, there has to also be the appearance of independence, right? The SHA should be operating independent of government.
The government says it has been transparent. In other news this morning, the federal inmate accused of killing Robert Pickton is expected to plead guilty today. Pickton died in 2024 after he was assaulted at the Port Cartier federal prison. The report released this past summer said the notorious serial killer was attacked as medicine was being handed out. The inmate accused in the assault was charged with first-degree murder. He is expected to plead guilty to that charge. Teachers in Alberta will vote on a new tentative agreement this weekend. The deal between the Alberta government and union representing 51,000 teachers is largely the same as a previous offer from the province, but now COVID shots will be covered. Most Albertans will have to pay $1,000 for the vaccine this year. The tentative deal also includes the same salary increase of 12% over 4 years the teachers rejected in the spring, and also repeats a previous government promise to hire 3,000 more teachers over 3 years. Teachers will vote on whether to ratify the agreement starting on Saturday. The University of Regina Students' Union will continue to exist, at least for now, after a meeting meant to discuss dissolution was adjourned. Sierra D'Souza Butts reports.
Frustrated with the process of trying to join remotely, Amanda Leader is one of hundreds of students who weren't able to access an online University of Regina Students' Union meeting on Wednesday.
I was able to listen to a friend's live feed, so from them being in the meeting, but that was it. I wasn't able to participate and vote or voice my concerns or anything like that.
During the meeting, more than 450 students who were able to join, raising their hands virtually, the majority asking URSU to adjourn the meeting, meant to vote on a motion for the organization to dissolve.
This is unparliamentary. You are not allowing students their democratic right.
After changing the venue of its special general meeting twice before going the virtual route, people joined through a Teams meeting to cast their votes on the motion to dissolve. That vote didn't end up happening after students voiced their concerns over the meeting format and voting structure to URSU board members. Several students who spoke in the meeting also demanding a physical format for students to be able to cast their votes.
I don't think that they were planning this meeting or running this meeting in good faith. I think that they really were just trying to gloss over what students' concerns were, and we heard that a lot, and students really standing up for themselves and being like, no, you are going to hear what I'm saying today.
The concerns raised in the meeting layered on top of existing issues with the wording of the dissolution, which some students feel would unfairly resolve leadership of any accountability over what's happened to the organization in recent years. The meeting comes as the union remains under investigation for allegations of misappropriation of funds. URSU was also evicted from the U of R campus last month. After 2 hours of students expressing their frustration, URSU adjourned the meeting, but a new date has not been set. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
Hundreds of elementary school students are starting out the new school year in a new school in Regina. Mick Favel takes us to the grand opening.
It's the beginning of a new era of education in North Regina. Students, teachers, and dignitaries gathered for the grand opening of Tawau School. The new K-8 building is now home to the former Imperial and McDermott schools.
To combine two communities, it's tough running, and as a division, we have almost 60 schools now in our school division. So being able to combine a school from a few blocks away into this one now and bring two communities together just brings more efficiencies with our school division as well, too.
The school is a new landmark in the neighborhood, and those currently enrolled are loving all the perks of a brand new state-of-the-art facility.
It's a much better school than our last one. It's more high-tech, it's bigger, better quality. It's just overall better school.
This is such a big opportunity because how many people get to graduate from such a new school all the time? You don't see that very much.
The majority of the school's $67 million price tag was paid by the government of Saskatchewan, with the City of Regina funding the community space. The building will include a community center and kitchen.
Not only are they spaces for learning for students, but they're more of a community center. I think that's what is really truly beneficial about this new location, this joint use school, that it serves not just the students and the education system in the area, but it also serves the entire community.
Tawau School is named after a Cree term meaning welcome or come in, which is intended to include all students.
When students feel like they belong, no matter what culture or background you are, when you feel like you belong and you know that teachers and staff care for you and that you have a human that believes in you and you can see yourself in that school, kids will do better.
470 students now walk through the halls of Tawau School. In a few months, the Catholic school side of the joint-use building will open with a total capacity of 1,000 students. Mick Favel, CTV News, Regina.
Well, some changes have been made to a Prince Albert intersection in the hopes of making it safer for you, the resident. Jasmine Peltier reports.
The intersection of 1st Avenue West and 22nd Street in Prince Albert has recently had medians added to minimize collisions. Residents of the area have taken notice.
I've been hit there once in one of my trucks as well, trying to get across that intersection. It's probably should have had a four-way put there, something to control traffic. We got the same problem up by the daycare here at the end of this street.
Improvement to the intersection. It should slow down, or it slows down the traffic and hopefully minimize the number of accidents at the corner.
The upgrades were funded through the Provincial Traffic Safety Fund grant administered by SGI. SGI told CTV that these grants are awarded to communities twice a year using proceeds from photo speed enforcement.
I just want to share with citizens that, this was paid for through SGI and that taxpayers here in the city actually aren't taking on the burden of this project.
The $68,000 grant was awarded to the City of Prince Albert by the Photo Speed Enforcement Committee, which is made up of several interested partners from around the province.
When the city decided to do this intersection, they studied 9 years from 2013 to 2022, and there were 63 collisions. That resulted in 22 injuries. There was $800,000 worth of claims, and 78% of the collisions were due to right-hand turns.
This project included new medians, new pedestrian ramps, stop signs, no parking signs, crosswalks, and new paving. Jasmine Peltier, CTV News, Prince Albert.
A Saskatchewan woman is the province's newest millionaire. Hallie Mandrick reports.
When IVR went to grab a slushie, she was treated to a big surprise.
I took it up there and he rang it through and I said, just take the slush out of that. And he just jumped back and he was shaking. I was shaking and he told me, it's just like, so I said, I'll be right back. I got to go home. So I went home, showed Mike the ticket and he looked at it and he looked up at me and he said, are you rich? He said, where's my slush?
The Outlook resident will be taking home $5 million thanks to a Lotto 649 draw made earlier this month. Ivy purchased the ticket in Whitecap while on her way to take her dog Lady to the groomers.
Well, I'll be out of debt for the first time in my life. I mean, really, and it just, I don't know, I'm still overwhelmed. I still can't quite believe it. But yeah, it's gonna make a big impact.
Sask Lotteries has been the main fundraiser for more than 12,000 sport, culture, and recreation groups across the province. According to the organization, Sask Lotteries has provided more than $1.4 billion in community support throughout its more than 50 years of operation. As for how Ivy plans to spend her millions, she's thinking of some home improvements and a reward for Lady.
We're going to finish up the renovations in the house and she might get a new bed, maybe. She's got about 3 beds at home now.
In addition to a very large check, Saskatchewan Lotteries gifted Ivy a slushie maker, so she never needs to worry about forgetting to pick one up again. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Jays fans can try to get their hands on playoff tickets today, but they may have bigger worries right now.
I was really disappointed tonight, but I have a really good feeling that they're going to come back and they're going to be stronger going into the future.
The Jays lost for the 6th time in 7 games last night, with their bats falling silent in a 7-1 loss to my Boston Red Sox, so I was pretty happy about it. They're now tied with the Yankees for the AL East lead. So now Jays fans who are hoping to catch a divisional series game may end up buying tickets for the wild card instead. The wild card starts on September 30th, the ALDS on October 4th. We'll have to see where that all shakes out. I know somebody, Kayleen, who bought tickets, and they only work if they play in that first series there. So They're hoping for some wins.
Well, good luck.
Yeah, right? That's what I was thinking.
All right, well, let's head on over to the weather center here. We're seeing some very nice temperatures today, later on this afternoon. It's just that the warm-up has been happening a little bit slower this morning because we've been fluctuating with those temperatures. Now, thankfully, a nice temperature where we've started to jump up. 9 degrees right now for Regina, winds coming in at 9 kilometers per hour, 3 degrees for Saskatoon. Again, we've been seeing those fluctuations this morning, so we have gone down just a little bit. Now, the Futurecast showing not a whole lot for today, but overnight we do see that weather system making its way in, impacting Saskatoon by about 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then pushing off by later on in the morning, making way for just sunny skies in the afternoon. Now, the wind gusts today, we are seeing them a little bit lower for Saskatoon and Regina, although we still could be seeing them up to about 35 kilometers per hour in Saskatoon and about 30 kilometers per hour for Regina. Where we're seeing the strongest winds today is those areas lit up in yellow. That's going to be Kindersley and Swift Current, likely up to about 40 kilometers per hour. Current temperatures now showing Spiritwood has gone down to about 1 degree in the past few minutes here. Hudson Bay holding steady at that 6-degree mark this morning. Moose Jaw also holding steady at 6 degrees. Swift Current just jumped up to 7 degrees. Estevan at 8 degrees to start your day. Temperatures this afternoon looking really nice with that sunshine. Battleford's up to 20 degrees. Moose Jaw up to 22, Swift Current up to 23 degrees, and Estevan up to 21 degrees. Here's a look at your 5-day forecast for Regina. We're seeing a few more clouds making their way into the picture by Saturday, but those weekend temperatures looking really nice. 25 degrees on Saturday with that cloud cover, 24 on Sunday, again seeing a bit more of that cloud cover, and 25 degrees on Monday. And then in Saskatoon, we're seeing 21 degrees today for the high, 19 degrees tomorrow, so we do go down ever so slightly and then jump right back up on Saturday up to 21 degrees. Again, expecting that cloud cover to be increasing on your weekend. 22 degrees on Sunday and then jumping right back up to 25 degrees on Monday. Now, you don't see any precipitation on your screen for those icons, but just a reminder that tomorrow morning is when we could be seeing that rain impacting Saskatoon, so just keep that in mind for your commute, for when you're sending your kids out the door. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, if we go on to our 7-day forecast there, we're also going to be seeing some very light drizzle in Saskatoon. Regina not seeing any precipitation in that 7-day forecast. Morning just got a whole lot richer. We're giving away a staggering $20,000, and it's time for today's code word. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is 1,000. Head to the contest page on our website or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter that code word along with your information for your chance to win CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan's $20,000 giveaway.
Wes Cates is in for another edition of X's and O's. Wes, we'll quickly talk about the big news of the week. On Monday, the CFL announcing some changes coming 26-27. Sidelines, you can't have teams on the same sidelines. The Rouge is changing. It has to stay in the end zone for a point if it sails right through, like how the Riders lost one game last year because of that. 0 points on that. The uprights are moving to the back of the end zone in 2027, 100-yard fields in 2027, and 15-yard end zones in 2027. So as a former CFL player, what are your thoughts on these moves?
I'm like, it might be a little too much. I mean, all those rules, I could see where they might hurt or benefit the game. I mean, you talk about, you know, what was the first couple? I know the sidelines. Yeah, the sidelines make sense because it's always annoying to have to run from one field to the other when you're on the same sideline. You kind of have to. It's just too close, too much going on, and we've seen from a couple of little skirmishes that it's not. It's not great for players to be in kind of that proximity to each other. And then, you know, you look at the Rouge. I can see the Rouge. That makes sense because, like the kickoff, it has to stay in the end zone. So that definitely helps give the opposing team a chance to negate your Rouge attempt, right? So if it's, you know, you get close, but then you can just boot it out the end zone to win by a single without even really having to put it through the uprights. I think that does make sense to give the opposing team a chance to bring it out. Now, you talk about changing the field, putting field goes to the back of the end zone. I mean, you're talking about 20-yard end zones. I guess we are talking about shortening them to 15, which would help with that. But, man, you're almost taking the kicking game out of it. That end zone, that 15 yards is a lot. So now you're talking about in the CFL where you typically see guys around the 50 or maybe even midfield still able to attempt a kick. Now, no, you're talking about the 30, you know what I mean, or 40. Like, once it hits the 40, it's like, nah, we can't make this. So I think that might, you know, it would bring the scores down, and it might make teams go for it more. But and it's a lot better for punters too. A lot more coffin corner kicks, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, it's just going to be tricky. It's just going to be hard to envision all those rules coming in. But I do see how they might be able to help the game a bit.
Well, if you ask riders back in the 2019 if they wanted the uprights moved to the back of the end zone, Cody Fajardo would definitely say, yeah. Yeah. Remember the doink? Yeah. All right, let's move into the game. It's the Elks versus the Riders in Edmonton this week. Riders, they win, they get a home playoff game. It's as simple as that. Offensively for the Riders, they got to get this passing attack going. Trevor Harris, last 4 games, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and has not thrown for over 300 yards.
Yeah, I think right now the Riders are still sitting okay, Lee. We all know that. But at the same time, you want to see this team playing aggressively. You want to see the Riders be more consistent and just be able to move the ball. Defense is still playing pretty solid, but yeah. I think Mark Mueller needs to get more creative with his play calls, move his receivers around a bit more. You know, you always feel like if you have great athletes, you can win one-on-ones, but you got to be creative as a coach and help your guys get into positions to win instead of just, you know, letting them go up, line up, and the defense knows exactly what they're running, yet they're still supposed to win and find ways to be creative on their own to get open, and that's not as easy to do against some of these great athletes that they're going against.
The Riders, if they can get a win and Calgary loses, they could be getting extremely close to hosting the Western Final. We will analyze that game in Edmonton and look forward to next week on another edition of X's and O's.
X's and O's brought to you by Campion College at the University of Regina.
Be cooking up an Oscar. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Emily Blunt took to the red carpet in London Wednesday evening for the movie premiere of The Smashing Machine. The former wrestler turned Hollywood action star takes a shot at drama, playing MMA fighter Mark Kerr while donning facial prosthetics and a wig. Blunt co-stars as his wife. Johnson says he's grateful to hear the Oscar buzz.
It's wild, you know, as a trailer park kid, and now any kind of conversation like that it's amazing. It's crazy.
Does that do what I think it does?
No. The final trailer for Wicked for Good is now out, which depicts a tense standoff between the Wicked Witch of the West and the Good Witch. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande reprised their roles from the first film, which came out last year. John Mulaney is scheduled to become the first comedian to play a show at Wrigley Field in Chicago. That's set for July 11th of next year. If you're a Jim Henson fan, here's your chance to own a little bit of history. The Jim Henson Company is set to hold its 17th anniversary auction in November, where fans can bid on original props and puppets from Fraggle Rock, The Dark Crystal, and Muppet Treasure Island. It marks the first time the company has dipped into its extensive archives for an auction. And happy birthday to Luke Skywalker himself. Mark Hamill, who also starred in this year's The Long Walk and The Life of Chuck, is turning 74 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
A group of kids from Atlanta have the music bug in a very big way, and they have been spreading rhythm and joy.
Yeah, they're called the Songs for Kids Band. They rocked the whole nation this past summer, playing both original songs and covers.
So 1, 2, 3, take my hand and come with me because you're looking so fine and I really want to make you mine.
When famous rock bands play with the Songs for Kids Foundation, founder Josh Rifkin says this is often the feedback.
All the band members are like, thank you. Like, we needed this.
For nearly 20 years, this nonprofit has been offering music mentorships and programs for kids and young adults with disabilities and illnesses.
So much going on these days.
And Josh says groups are usually blown away when they visit their center in Atlanta to play with these young rock stars.
So how do you reach someone who isn't like you? Well, music is a great way to do that.
However, this past summer was a big one for their newly formed Songs for Kids band. They just wrapped up their first national tour, both playing by themselves and opening for internationally touring acts.
Ruby, you want to tell them about your song?
Hi guys, my name is Ruby.
Here they are in Colorado with Australian rockers King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, as Ruby here performs a Song for Kids band original, What's Your Favorite Stuff?
My name is Ruby. Yeah, my favorite foods are hummus and toast.
They make it look easy, but Josh says this tour took months of preparation.
Performance, confidence, memorizing the lyrics.
Well, the tour may be over now, but the band is still performing around Atlanta. Look at this reaction to just one note this past weekend. These are the moments Josh refers to as, quote, lightning bolts.
I don't think they're lucky to have us. I think we're lucky to have them.
And Josh tells me they are working on expanding all over the country, starting first with Nashville and New York. If you're interested in rocking out, their website is songsforkids.org. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
I was really hoping they were going to start doing the Cars for Kids song.
Yeah.
That's just that earworm that just does not does not go away, right? My goodness.
So bad.
Let's go over to your sidebar. Story about the person who won the lotto. Maybe they want to buy this. The skateboard from one of the most legendary moments in history of the sport of skateboarding is now setting another record. Tony Hawk's board from his landmark 900 trick sold for $1.5 million. What did she win? She won $5 million, right?
I think,
so she can afford this. A record for a piece of skateboarding memorabilia. The American was the first skater to land the move during the '99 X Games. Proceeds go to Hawk's charity that builds public skate parks in underserved areas, so the money's going to good use.
Well, I was going to say it's a bit overpriced for a skateboard, but then when you hear it's going to charity.
Yeah, how many skate parks would that build?
That's the
so
900 board.
Right?
That's legendary, man.
Well, JD knows this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You win the right to read the next script here.
Oh, lucky me. All right, let's talk soccer. FIFA gonna unveil the 2026 World Cup mascots today.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, this is the video on FIFA's social media revealing the names of the North American tournament's 3 mascots, Maple, Zayu, and Clutch. We don't know what they look like yet, though. Apparently, they reflect the cultures of the World Cup's 3 host countries, Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. We don't know exactly which mascot will be for which country. The World Cup kicks off in June, so looking forward to these creatures.
Can't wait to see how Zayu represents Canada. It's most definitely not Maple.
Yeah.
You know, the most.
Wouldn't know.
Who knows?
Mystery.
I hope they're terrifying. Remember the Tokyo Games? The mascots were terrifying. Yeah. Only worst.
Well, now I know what scares you. Never reveal your weaknesses.
The worst mascot out there is still Hunter from the Edmonton Oilers. You can fight me on it. It's true. That's it for this.
Oh, no, you're not wrong.
You're right. Your morning continues tomorrow morning. Thank you for spending some time with us. Be safe out there.